Welcome to the Red Leaf Retrocast. The worldwide weebs are here, and it's a very special episode. Tori, what episode do we have today on the agenda?
Today we have episode 18, and nothing special is happening.
Nothing special is happening for episode 18. You know what's also synonymous with the number 18?
Hentai.
That's right, you can officially watch porn. Totally on purpose.
Yeah, of course.
And for another reason, Valentine's Day passed.
Yeah!
Hey.
And I'm sure we all had fun, didn't we?
Right in between episodes, we all spent it alone and of course watching porn.
It doesn't matter because my country celebrates the Valentine's Day, as we call Lovers' Day, in June. So I don't give a shit about your loneliness. Thumbs
Yeah,
up.
I believe it's actually a Hallmark holiday in the United States and Canada. When I was in Germany, it wasn't on the 14th. I think it was on like the 21st or something. What's Valentine's Day in Norway? Is it still the 14th or no?
I think it is, but I'm not quite sure because honestly, I don't care. Valentine's Day means nothing.
It's all synonymous with different Christianity and whatnot. I think the most interesting was on Valentine's Day in Romania, which is like April 6th or something. It has something to do with Ash Wednesday and St. Valentine. They give each other sticks to the people they hate.
Ooh.
So it's kind of the opposite.
Can I just
Oh,
can I just go
You
around punching people I hate? I like that better.
No, you got to give them a stick, and
You need-
and you
but like-
and you decorate the stick.
You need some balls
Hit
to
them
get
with a
like
stick.
you need some balls to go up to someone and give a stick, knowing that it means I hate you. Like you really need to hate that person, and the person probably knows that you hate him. But you just go there just to remind I hate you, and you give a decorated stick
Well, Hickey,
so they can
that's
fuck
why
themselves.
you don't go up and
Probably.
give
I
it to
don't
them.
know.
You don't go up and give it to them. You just leave it at their doorstep or something. They open the door and they're like, "What the fuck?"
Oh my god! If that was a tradition in the United States, it would just be like a bag of shit.
Come on, you have a tradition in the United States. You walk up to the person you hate with a gun and shoot them.
Oh boy, man, is that timely? That is horrible.
We also do that here.
Not totally wrong, unfortunately.
Nope.
Oh man, I you know what? I recently looked at a statistic because I was having an argument with my dad over how many school shootings there are in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, Canada's got to have a lot. And I'm like, fuck no. And he goes, what do you mean? They're right above America. They can get guns easily. No, there is, and I go click, 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 click. Since 2000, there's been 5.
Yep. And in 2018, in the United States, there's been 18.
In 6 weeks. Well, anyways, speaking of depressing and horrible things, hentai. Let's get back to the subject.
Speaking
Well,
about mass
should we get
shooting,
something?
let's talk about hentai.
Should we get something else out of the way before we start talking about the hentai?
Yeah. We can't just talk about porn for, 2 hours?
I mean, we could.
I mean, we could, yeah. This is a weeb cast. There are other things weeby to talk about.
Yep. Like Quest Anime.
Tori, we both have Quest updates.
Yeah, surprisingly.
Let's start with yourself.
Alright then. So, as is usual, I watched quite a bit. Though a lot of it is short, so I'm just gonna skim through what I've watched and not really talk all that much about it. If you wanna see or hear more about it, you can go to our Mal group. I have reviews of them up there. So, yeah.
Yes, you do.
And, so like I said, I've gone into the 2000s, and, I've basically, started, shows like Nia Under 7, which is a show, like a slice of life about a girl who starts living with an alien. So, that was a lot of fun. It's a funny show, and at the same time, a serious show, which I wasn't expecting. But, I like seeing them talk about discrimination and whatnot, and just the struggles of living alone. Other than that...
Well, there was one aspect of the show you couldn't stand. That you kept bringing up in the Discord group.
I did? Of Nia?
Yeah, it was them hand-holding and reminding you of past events over and over again. And it was
No. You're thinking of something completely different.
I was? Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
I'll get to that. Don't worry about that. Nia is a show that I actually enjoyed. It was funny.
Oh, okay.
It was it was funny and it was interesting. Other than that, me and JD, we watched FLCL together.
We did.
That is very appropriate for the Hentai cast because, you know, there are some
About
desires
sexual
in
frustrations.
there. Yep. But I mean, I understand, you know, you're a young boy, you live together with a hot woman, and it's like, and she's not your sister, so, or your mother, even better.
None of those things.
But she is an alien. So sticking with the alien trend. Yeah. Nah,
you know, on a quick tangent or statement.
Yeah.
Fooly Cooly is even better than I imagined, and it's not just, you know, with doing something like the quest, and we'll get into what it is in a second here exactly, to remind those joining us for the first time, because I imagine there's going to be a lot of new listeners for the Hentai cast.
True.
When you go back and watch a lot of shows that you grew up with or what have you, most of the time there's a lot of nostalgia involved, and you're blinded with how good the series actually is. In the case of Fooly Cooly, it's even better than I remember. Because there's a lot of themes, like we mentioned with the sexual frustrations, that I just didn't pick up on when I was like 12 years old.
Yeah, it's weird, right? You don't even see the obvious fucking boner out of the forehead.
Yeah, you just well, as they say in the show, they just say it's a horn. So if you're, real young, okay, it's a horn. You don't think anything more than that. And then when you watch it again when you get older, you're like, hey, look at all this other stuff. It's kind of like watching old cartoons in general. You know, you could even take SpongeBob as an example with, wow, this is actually more adult than you realize.
Well, SpongeBob is not as good.
It isn't as good as Fooly Cooly. I agree.
Yeah. Well, FLCL is honestly, I look forward to watching that. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. That is all I'm going to say about that one, and I highly recommend watching it, and I am not looking forward to FLCL 2 and 3.
I'm being optimistic for it.
I am being very negative for it.
Because I do want to see more. I do want to see more of it.
I don't.
Because it did feel like they can expand on that universe.
I think they can, but I highly doubt they're gonna.
Well, we'll see.
I am not going to watch it.
We'll definitely be covering it when it comes out.
I am not going to be watching it.
Oh,
I will be.
Well, anyways. So, other than that, I have watched Noir, which is the one that JD alluded to.
Very similar names. That's why I mixed them up.
Nia Under 7 and Noir. Yeah, I mean, they both start with an N, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's like that first syllable I get. Nia, Noir.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, Noir is basically, it's a show about the Noir, two female assassins who are trying to one of them is suffering from amnesia and trying to figure out who they are, where they come from. The other one, she is she's the one who was originally an assassin. Well, a fucking what's it called? Like a murderer for hire or whatever. She
go on.
It's confusing. She has some troubling past that it takes forever for them to actually explain why or what it is. I mean, you know what it is, and they like what JD was alluding to. They like showing you that fucking flashback of her looking as a child, looking very shocked at something, and then cut to a hand laying on the floor, and it's like, yeah. Now try to think of what that might possibly be. Now get annoyed at the fact that they show you this at least once an episode, in every single episode throughout the show. And sometimes more.
I really don't like it when shows do that.
I don't either.
At all.
And this show,
it could be something around, you're 6 episodes into a show and then they have a recap episode.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
I know, right? It's awful.
Like something this season. But it's not even a recap. It's like, it's the same fucking flashback over and over again. And it's not just that. They had a couple of other flashbacks that they like to repeat as a lot, but they didn't do that as many times. And of course, they also have to have these moments of whenever something is referred to, usually that has something to do with the Soldats, which is this huge organization that is ruling the world from, without anyone's knowledge, and they are interfering with everything and trying to stop these two girls from learning the truth.
Oh boy.
So every time something is mentioned that revolves around them, the characters will react to this like this is important information, which is fine if it weren't for the fact that they react like looking very shocked and then fucking freeze frame on their shocked expression for 5 to 10 seconds every time. It's like, I get it. But, that was... It's more frustrating because it's not like it's a very bad show. It's not like it does a whole lot wrong. It just likes being annoying and likes to treat the viewer like you are an absolute retard that can't pay attention. And I don't appreciate that.
I don't appreciate that either in shows. Hickey, what is your opinion on shows that repeat sequences constantly or have recaps way too early?
I mean, I can understand. I mean, early recaps I cannot understand because it's a full episode. They could use that episode to do something better. Of course, I also understand that not sometimes, but most of the times, these shows go on television. And most of people, they don't have the time to watch every single episode. So I get that after 6 episodes, they do a recap. For the people who didn't watch the show or missed an episode, can't watch the episode anywhere. Because come on, the shows in Japan go out in like 3 in the morning. Who is woken in 3 a.m.? Probably no one, because you are, because you are unemployed and shit. But people who have a job and stuff, they have a family. They can't be up 3 in the morning every single week, every single day of the week, because you have episodes every single day of the week, every single day of the month. So it makes sense. Of course, it doesn't make sense for us who watch on streaming services. I think flashback. I think there's a moment that flashbacks, they become excessive. I think we talked about it in a past podcast. When something becomes when something becomes excessive, and how Tori was describing the show in the Discord channel, which you can find and join us if you want to talk to us more. It looked like they were doing that every single episode and more than once every single episode. So that is excessive.
At least 3 times in most episodes.
At least 3 times each episode. Yeah, no, that is completely unnecessary. So like
it reminds me of us when we were talking about His and Her Circumstances.
It reminds me when we talk about the 2nd season of Boku no Hero Academia that I always go, do you know that Izuku Midoriya is the strongest hero of the world, and this is the adventures of him, because every single beginning of the episode they remind you of that. It's not a recap.
Well, a lot of
it is just a phrase.
A lot of mech anime tends to do that as well.
Yeah.
To remind you of like what the universe is and how it got there. X and X developed this X, and then they went to space, and then stuff happened.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that, but it doesn't bother me that much. Mostly because I just skip that every time. It's like, nah, go, move on. But and let's see what else I have. I'm currently in the year 2000. Well, just to wrap up Noir. I don't dislike Noir. For me, it was a very much a 5 out of 10 kind of show. But it does piss me off a lot. I also, right now I'm on the year 2002, and I have a couple of things to watch from 2002. So far, I have watched Yokohama Shopping Trip, Quiet Country Cafe, which is a 2-episode OVA, and a sequel to Yokohama Shopping Trip, Yokohama Shopping Trip, which is also a 2-episode OVA from the late 90s. This one's from the 2002, like I said. It's just a continuation. It's a slice of life. It's the epitome of just nothing happens realistically, and I fucking love it.
Yeah,
I love shows. This show does one of the things that I like. Does one of my weaknesses. it shows us so much, but it never explains anything. It's like you see so many different things. Like Yokohama and most of the world is underwater. Well, why? What happened? Something happened, and they've said something happened. There's some sort of accident. What that is, well, everyone knows. Why should they tell you? There are androids in this world, or main characters in Android. How did this come to be? No one, who knows? They've just been around for a long time now. They work. They act like people. They do stuff. This main character, she is armed for some reason. She likes carrying a gun around. Why? Does she need it? Who knows? It doesn't seem like it. She goes to sleep out in the grass. But it's like, nothing's really explained, but it's like, they show you enough to like, tease your imagination. It's like, why do you think they need all these things? Why do you think she likes drinking coffee? She doesn't need to drink. She doesn't need to eat, but she does it sometimes. She likes eating. It's like, it allows you, like, it gives you enough, but at the same time, it allows you to use your imagination to fill in the blanks.
Is this your only thing from 2002 you're watching?
No. I'm also going to be watching Metropolis and Full Metal Panic. I have started Full Metal Panic.
Those two ones I'm interested in hearing about from you.
I've started Full Metal Panic so far, but only watched 2 episodes. But it's fun. I like those 2 first episodes.
So nice.
Yeah, I believe the first season was Gonzo and the second season was Kyoto Animation.
Something like that.
I think so.
Yeah.
Top of my head. Yeah. So for those that don't know, when Tori and I talk about a quest update,
yeah,
it's basically a realization or a want to watch past anime and essentially also knock out a bunch of anime from your plan to watch list. Kind of what a lot of fans end up falling into is the ever-expanding plan to watch list.
Yep.
You just keep adding shows, but you never actually watch them. So this is kind of an agenda that you set yourself to get these shows out of the way. What we've done is we start in 1970 and essentially try to watch at least one anime per year, or at least attempt to.
Well, yeah, I've also set myself a goal of trying to watch at least like 6 episodes of something. Give it a fair shot. Yeah,
give it a good try. Sometimes they don't always come to that that way. Well, like, I don't know, Devilman from 1972.
Well, I mean, I think I went 11 episodes of the Devilman.
Yeah, we went way further than we should have.
Yeah, but like, there are some cases where some anime that I didn't manage, but that's not my fault. That's because there was only one episode out. And
right.
The only exception to that is, what's it called? Let's see if I can find it from the 70s here. It is, Uchu no Kishi Tekkaman. And,
Tekkaman, yeah.
When I watched that, I could only find a very, very, very bad English dub. And I watched one episode and I just broke. I couldn't. That was impossible for me to watch.
And Tekkaman's very famous too. So anyways, so that's what the quest is. And Tori and I have been doing this quite a while now. I'm going on 3 years this May. Because I'm not just watching one show. I'm watching anywhere from, it could be 4 to 10 in a single year.
Yeah.
No particular minimum or maximum.
I'm mostly watching one. Like, I have it set to watch one show from a year. There are some years, or there are some exceptions. I am sticking to one series a year. But when I have like short OVAs or movies concerned, I decided to add a series to that as well. Just so that it's not like 2 episodes or 1 episode and then I'm done.
Right.
Yeah.
So, my quest update, I last left off in, I was just finishing up 2011 and starting Gundam Age. Whew. Gundam Age was a hard drop, but I did last to the first. Gundam Age is a Gundam set in 3 generations. So, starts with one kid, and he ages to his grandfather, and then the 2 other stories follow his son and grandson, and they're all kind of mixed together. I made it only to the end of that first character, and that was enough. Because I mostly wanted to see what all the fuss was about, like how bad could this be. It's the best way I could describe Gundam Age was it's a Gundam that was focused on trying to be a lot more childish than a lot of Gundams. So it gave me a lot of Pokemon kind of Yokai Watch vibes, even a Yu-Gi-Oh thing, because the art style is very reminiscent of that age. Gundam Age, that wasn't on purpose. It was just... It was the worst Gundam I've ever seen. It was so childish, and it was trying... The narrative and the plot and everything was trying to be more than what it should have been.
Isn't it the...
You know what I'm saying, guys?
Isn't it the overall opinion around Gundam Age? Is that it's
the overall opinion is bad.
Okay, yeah. I know people like...
Yeah.
Whiskey like it, doesn't he?
No. He hates it. He said
Whiskey
it even gets worse.
Who's the one who said it likes this?
I don't know. That's not important. The important part is the majority of the opinion is Gundam Age is a bad show, and I'm confirming that opinion.
Okay.
Well,
I think it was my friend.
I would argue it's worse. I personally would argue it's worse than Gundam Seed Destiny, which is kind of the universal one that's super terrible. But at least that was... I found it at least somewhat entertaining. Gundam Age I didn't find entertaining at all.
I know, man. Gundam in general is just not that good.
Yeah. So that finally finished 2011. I'm on to 2012. And I completed Daily Lives of High School Boys and Lupin III, Woman Called Fujiko Mine.
Hell yeah.
So High School Boys, comedy, bit of a bit run comedy mostly. High School Boys just kind of goofing around being high school boys. I don't know other way to describe it other than that. It's a funny show. If you like comedy, definitely check it out. But Woman Called Fujiko Mine, I mean, we had our Lupin the Third cast. I meant to watch this earlier, but since it was on my quest, I kind of put it off. And Tori, you love this show.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. It is just it's everything I want out of a Lupin, and with my favorite character Fujiko Mine as the main character. So
she's more or less the main character, yeah.
She is, well, let's put it, she's the protagonist. She is the one the story is about.
Yes.
Lupin is still obviously one of the forefront characters because it's Lupin. But yeah, it's about Fujiko, the entire thing.
Well, it's kind of an origin story in general of how the group first all four of the Lupin gang kind of first meet, and it's centered around this singular story of Fujiko and this organization that's kind of got this drug trade going on over this psychedelic.
Yeah, no, I'm just reacting to the whole it's a origin story. It's not really.
Well, we learn. We're supposed. It sets itself up as an origin. Like, this is supposed to be Fujiko's past. Some things are revealed to contradict that, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
We learn a little bit about Jigen's past.
Yes.
And even a little bit about Goemon's past. We still don't know much about Lupin's past other than, he was a famous thief, and he was more or less going solo up until this encounter with Fujiko, and that led him to meet Jigen. And then, of course, as we discussed in the Lupin episode that we've done on the podcast, that's when they officially meet Goemon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of the only reason why I have issues with calling it, and this is where I feel a lot, especially if you're familiar with the Lupin universe. I can see people having problems with this, and that is because obviously this is a spin-off that is not based on the manga. So the origin story, the quote-unquote origin story of how they met contradicts both the manga and part 1. They don't meet the same way. And part 1 already has a meeting. They have the first encounter with Goemon and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I felt like this encounter it didn't totally get rid of that, which I thought was kind of cool.
It did, because in this one, Goemon doesn't like Fujiko at all for some reason, which doesn't make sense unless you've seen the original Lupin, because there's a reason why he doesn't like Fujiko. Doesn't like women in general, but again, that also has to do with Fujiko.
Well, anyways, the art style was the standout to the series, along with its way of storytelling in this, because it gives you a feeling of an episodic format, but everything is interconnected per episode, and I thought was really cool. I wasn't expecting that at all.
Yeah, no, me neither.
It gave me a lot of Cowboy Bebop type feelings in its storytelling, but it was much more
which is very funny, because a lot of the people that worked on Bebop worked on that one.
Yeah, exactly, and that was something that I found out later. I'm like, this is really cool, so I'm really happy I watched it. Dude, Tori, I gave it a 9 out of 10 easy.
Oh, that is great. When I watched it, like I said, it's one of my favorites. I ended up giving it a 10 out of 10. I don't know, like, it's like that sort of stuff, that sort of series, it's a series, basically, fan service made for me. It's everything I wanted.
And I really appreciated the uncensoredness to it.
Yeah, I like that opening. I like that opening so much.
Oh yeah, stop. Pay attention to me. Look at what I'm doing right now. I'm Fujiko. I'm naked. I'm doing things.
Yeah.
Well, anyways.
I haven't watched it.
I
was good.
Yeah,
do it.
I was muted the entire time.
Heck,
I was looking out of my window and thinking, there's a beautiful sky outside. Why the fuck I'm sitting right here? I should go to the beach. Anyway. Yeah. What about Daily Lives of High School Boys? You watch it as well?
Yes. Yeah, I finished it. It was a pretty easy watch. It was pretty good. Good comedy. No reason in really going into too deep over it.
Oh.
I have started Space Brothers and Valve Rave.
Oh.
So Space Brothers is going to take a while. It's 99 episodes, so I'll just be kind of picking at that for a while, as I hit all the shows from 2013 and on. Because it's a very slow show.
Well, I would assume so. It's about somebody trying to become
an astronaut.
And
some of it takes place in Houston, where I grew up, so I'm like, hey, I recognize that. Hey, I've been to that pool that they train, and I'm getting some nostalgia just from my youth of being at NASA and taking school trips in elementary school there and whatnot, and kind of having that same realization of hey, this might be something I want to do, or maybe I want to be an engineer or something, and hey, I became an engineer.
And then trying to become an astronaut, then realized that your brother was better than you, and he became an astronaut.
Well, right. And then I was told I have asthma, and I can't even survive the lung test. But anyways, yeah, that's the quest update. Tori and I will keep doing it. The Shonen Quest is definitely, if you haven't noticed, it's kind of been put off on hold for the real one. Yeah, no, right?
I don't believe you.
So let's dive into. I got a question for you guys now.
All right.
We're halfway through the 2018 winter anime season. What is your current favorite anime of the season now that we've reached this halfway point? Hickey.
I'm a little behind. Like, I would say Sangatsu no Line, because I'm still watching it weekly, although it's not from this season, but still, I guess from this season, I don't know. Like, I'm enjoying everything kind of equally. There's nothing really something that stands out. It is that kind of season that there's nothing I look and say, no, I want to drop this show, or I feel like dropping this show. I don't drop shows, but still, imagine as I dropped shows. There's nothing that I look and say, yeah, no, I want to drop this show. I don't feel like watching the show. Every single show I feel like watching. I'm not watching because I'm worried about other things in my life right now. So usually, like, I'm studying more. I have to study more. I'm changing internships. I didn't mention that, but I'm changing internships. I'm going to a prosecution office and all. I'm going out of the courthouse. So, like, my life is kind of busy right now. I don't have the time to actually sit down and watch anime with the quality I want. But yeah, So like I
Naturally.
think I'm liking the season. There's not a season, there's not an anime that I look and say, yeah, this is my favorite, but I'm enjoying the season as a whole.
Okay, fair enough. What about yourself, Tori?
Well, yeah, I'm with Hickey on some of it. I'm not really looking to drop any shows this season. There's no shows I feel are that bad, but at the same time, I feel like from the new shows as well, there's nothing that stands out to me as like it's really good. So for me, my favorite of
Not even a Numu? Can I get a Numu?
no, you can't get Numu. And failed to keep the Umu counter up. But
That's from Fate Extra for those that don't know.
it is. But for me, my favorite of this season is the same as my favorite of last season, and that is Ancient Magus Bride. It's heads above everything else. It's just too good. I don't want it to end.
So mine, because I started this ranking system. Just to reiterate, it's I list all the shows I'm watching for the season, and then I just on a per episode basis rank them one out of, let's say I'm watching 10 shows. Whatever was most entertaining, I give it a 1. Second most entertaining, I give it a 2. So low score is the best. At the halfway point, it was actually I got kind of a 5-way race, but just to highlight which one I'm enjoying the most right now, it's Kokaku. I don't know if you guys are watching this. Are you?
I'm
No.
watching it.
Yeah. You are? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. It's about a family that has this stone, and it if you do something to it in particular, it puts you in this world of stasis where everything's still except yourselves. And there's a big hidden mystery behind it. A cult's chasing them, trying to get the stone for their own purposes. It's really a lot of fun. It's the most consistent storytelling show. The plot's moving along pretty well. It's highly entertaining. I am loving it. It's definitely the standout of the season. If I'm saying only particular this season, not counting, say, as Hickey said, Sangatsu no Lion, or as you, Tori, said, Ancient Magus Bride. Kokaku is my top of the season right now.
I guess. About this season, just the highlight. Slow Stars still have the best body language animation. Oh, it gets me so fucking worried. Like episode 6 got me so fucking worried. I was so fucking concerned. I was like, no, don't do this. And they did something, and I don't want to talk about it. But the body language animation is still very good.
No one cares.
I care. You should care as well because you're Sakuga fag.
I am. But I'm
and you should watch that show.
No.
And get concerned with me because the little girls go out without skirts and Anyway, move it on.
Oh my god, Hickey.
I'll watch it on
You're
Sakuga
like the
Boru.
only one that's mentioned that show.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
The animation. The animation is good. Animation is good. Anyway. I just want to make Tori watch it, so I need to remind him every single time.
He's not gonna watch
it on Sakuga Boru.
He's watching
where I watch all my good animation.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about porn, guys. What do you say?
Yes, from girls walking out without skirts to porn. Let's go.
Oh, man. Are your panties off? Are you ready? Do you need to change your pants before we start?
Maybe.
I'm fine.
Maybe.
No, I don't. Yeah.
Or do you need to loosen them up because you just got a little tighter?
Nah, man.
No. I have 2 guys talking on my ears. I'm not gonna get an erection. Don't worry about it. This is the least of my concerns.
You need to get hot and bothered at least. Come on.
Yeah, I'm talking about little girls walking around without skirts and guys talking in my ears. I'm not getting an erection. Don't worry about it.
This isn't an anime. This isn't where the fucking main characters go out and it's like, oh my god, we're holding hands, and it's like blushing, and it's like, oh my god, no.
Oh, what is that in your pants?
Oh my god, I don't have a face. No.
Okay. So, Tori, what was your first hentai?
You know, I would like to know that myself. I have no idea what it was called. I don't even remember what it's about. I remember people had sex. That's about it.
Great.
Did you get an erection when they had the
Nice.
sex?
Yes, I didn't watch my first hentai when I was that young.
Oh boy. Hickey, what was your first hentai?
It's a funny story, okay?
Ooh, story time. Okay. Is it dirty?
Yes.
No,
go
not
ahead.
really. When you start,
Is
at
it
least
down and dirty?
when I started watching anime like deeply, like after 4 or 5 years, I started to realize that I was an anime fan. And when you go online, at least in Brazil's forums and conventions, shit like that, people will say you one thing. If you think you're an anime fan, there are 2 things you need to watch, so you can say for sure you are an anime fan. Despite of what you're gonna watch, you're gonna say, yeah, I like anime. And they are Bible Black and Boku no Pico. So I think those were my 2 first hentai. Ugh. That was, yeah.
see.
We'll definitely get into those 2 more.
That is, don't watch it. Yes.
Do, please.
I
beg
guess
you.
like the first one I watched it because I felt like it. I don't know. I thought it was gonna be fun, so
And
I
then
watched
you watched the sequel because I don't know.
I
it
haven't
felt-
watched. I think I
felt
think
some
I
things
played
and-
Bible Black 2. I think I played Bible Black 2. A little bit of Bible Black 2. Well, like I remember this one. It was like about a teacher and a female student. They became magical girls, and one of the guys, of course, the main character without a face, becomes a tentacle monster. It's like 2 episodes. I couldn't stop laughing. And that is basically every single experience like I have with video hentai, like animated hentai. I cannot stop laughing. I cry out of laughing. Like, really, I think it's so fucking funny. I guess we can talk about that in story time or something like that. How old was I when I
We'll get
watched
to
it?
dirty story time.
I
in
think
a
I was
second
I think I
here.
was 15 when I watched it. 15? No, I was younger than that. Maybe 14 when I watched Bible Black. That was scarring. Yeah, that woman had a big dick. That is
Sure
for
did.
sure. That is something I
Some
can
Funari
do.
stuff.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, speaking of that, my first hentai was La Blue Girl, a '90s hentai. Have you guys seen La Blue Girl?
Probably.
Probably. I'll go into a little bit more detail in a second here, but just to go on the next question, I think I was 12 when I saw it, or 13.
I sometimes I forget how old you are. But this one looks fine.
Yeah, I just turned 30, guys.
This one looks fine.
Yep.
Come on.
Aren't you proud of me? I lived to 30.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah, I'm proud of you.
nearing
You
the end,
survived. Congratulations.
you survived the
I
Great
know.
Depression.
There's a live action of Labro Girl?
Dude, there's
Sure
of
is.
course there is. That shit's been out since like 1992. Why would there not be a live action of La Blue Girl?
I don't know.
Dude, that shit was intense. I was a big anime fan and, going through some puberty type stuff, and it's like, I want to see some anime chicks bang. That's what I got.
I'm sure you do. Yeah.
Yeah, it impacted me quite well. Tori, I discovered things of myself.
Yeah, so did I. The sad thing is, especially because I don't remember what my first hentai is, and a lot of the reason is because obviously I didn't look stuff up, and one of the first hentai I ever did watch was through like some sort of some like porn site where I
bet you just went to Pornhub and just saw like a 3-minute clip.
No, I watched an episode actually, but yeah, that's basically what it was, and it's just typical title. It's just like girl gets fucked. That's it. I was like, yeah, that tells me nothing, but the title was correct. It did happen. So yeah,
Ding ding ding.
ding 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 indeed.
Yeah. How did it impact you?
How did it impact me? Well, I mean, I was wondering what this weird animated porn was, and I was that was when I realized that, oh, it's one of those Japanese things, and I was young, and I was like, oh, fucking Japanese weirdos. I'll never like stuff like that.
Huh. That's what you don't know. Hell is not subdued, but endured.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. Nah.
Tori, are you saying hentai is why you became an anime fan?
Yeah, it was a bit of a delayed reaction, but I guess it has something to do with it.
These anime chicks are giving me happy feelings in my pants. I kind of want to watch more of this.
Yeah, well, no. No, not really.
No, not really. Oh,
not really.
Okay, so dirty story time. So, this is kind of personal experiences. Think we'll have fun with this. This can range from anything your parents catching you watching hentai maybe for the first time, to you're with the girlfriend, or you're just with a bro and you're like, hey, let's watch some porn together. What kind of dirty stories do you guys have involving hentai? Who wants to go first?
I guess
I can go first. I'm sure he has plenty.
I actually don't have one. I mean, there was this one time I was with you in voice chat. I was bored, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch a hentai, and I couldn't stop laughing. It's like, yeah,
true. That did happen.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah,
I don't watch.
I've heard of the infamous Hickey watching porn in voice chat.
Well,
with everybody else.
It's not the first time. I mean, maybe watching, but I know you've read doujins and stuff like that.
Yeah,
in voice chat as well. So
I read those. I read a lot of doujinshi. My thing is doujinshi. I read a lot of doujinshi. I can tell the story of why I watch. I read a lot of doujinshi, but like I also play a lot of eroges and hentai games. I don't know why. I think it's funny as well. Also, it basically because there's no translation on most of them. It kind of helps me to kind of understand and learn a little bit of Japanese, which is cool. But like, there was this one time I play eroges in public. Eroge is the ecchi. It's not the explicit sex or anything. Probably just some vanilla sex, but most of it's vanilla sex. I was playing that on my phone, like sitting on the classroom. And, I was like, and a girl came, like one of my friends came, and she was like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I was like, "You're not gonna like it. Don't look at my phone. I'm playing an eroge." And she was like, "What was that?" It is kind of an ecchi game. She watches anime, so she knows what eroge is. And I was like, "It's eroge. You're not liking it." And you're like, "Oh no!" And like she looked at my phone. I was like, "What the fuck?" I looked at her and said, "I told you not to look at it. The phone is mine. I play whatever I want in it." Like,
I told you you won't like it.
Yeah,
I told you don't look at it. You looked at it, now you're complaining?
Do not look at my phone. And the guy was, I think the guy was smelling the girl's. Anyway, it was a C. It was a C.
What was the guy smelling?
The girl was sitting on his face, and he was enjoying it. Still.
Oh,
sure he was.
So like she was like, "Oh, what the fuck? You play that in public?" I was like, "Yeah, but it's my phone. Why are you looking at my phone? You shouldn't be looking at people's phone. You don't know what they are doing." And I blame her. Of course, I blame her. Come on.
Of course, you should.
Yeah, like this is my phone. You shouldn't be looking at my phone.
Yep.
Oh, you're all angry about invasion of privacy. Well, it's like, no, this is my porn. Get out of here.
Yeah, it's my privacy. I do what I want with it.
Oh man,
boy.
Fun times.
Have your parents ever caught you like looking at porn or something?
No, not really.
How has that not happened? Your dad just walks in on you every time.
I know, but I guess I
Probably
know
he's
he's going
pointers or something. No, man. The lotion goes in the left hand. You're right-handed. You got to think about this through. Come on, Hickey.
My father walks in on me, but like I know about that. That's why I don't. First of all, I don't watch hentai. I don't watch that much hentai. I watch like one every 6 months, maybe, because I want to go laugh. I'm feeling depressed. I just put the hentai in and start laughing. Oh, and like
What is comedy?
about the games, like usually it's just a visual novel. So like, if he looks, he's not gonna to understand anything. It's in Japanese. He's not gonna give a shit. He's just gonna say, "Stop being a weird guy. Stop being weird" or something.
Well, you definitely heard it here first, folks. If you're feeling depressed and really down on yourself, just go down on yourself and watch some hentai.
I mean, I think it's hilarious. So like, it always makes me make a good laugh. So like, I don't have
Actually,
any...
you know what? There was Hickey, there was actually an article that came out recently of an American that wanted to kill himself, and he went to Mexico, and he spent like an entire week in Mexico just blowing a bunch of money on cocaine and hookers. So, and then he wanted to live, and he went back to the United States.
Yeah, see? But of course, in this case, there's no hookers and cocaine. Just
clearly, there's got to be
porn.
some correlation between coming out of depression and watching hentai. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I'm not a specialist on that. Like, I cannot tell, but probably, maybe.
Yeah.
Probably, maybe, yes. You should definitely jack off to hentai.
Absolutely. It's
Absolutely.
good time.
Good time. What about you, Tori?
It's kind of hard.
Give me a good dirty story here.
I haven't really watched that much hentai with other people in recent times that I remember. I have watched porn with friends and whatnot, but it's usually just like, shit, sit down, watch some porn. It's like, yeah, sure, let's go. And you sit
sure,
there,
let's let's take off our pants. Everyone show each other.
No, that never happens. You just kind of sit there.
You go that far?
Just kind of sitting there and seeing whoever pops a boner first, and then you make fun of that person. But like, it's that's kind of hard to go. I don't remember though. This has happened.
I'd be lying if I never had that moment with friends.
Yep.
I don't do that with my friends.
But
I look very homosexual. But like,
no,
man, I don't think I ever watched porn.
It's not gay if you're with your bros, Hickey.
Yeah. No, I don't think I ever watched porn with my friends. Actually, I remember going. I remember that they sell porn DVDs on like newspaper places, like So like sometimes I would go out of school and we would go look at the names. I guess that was basically it.
What the hell? But yeah, no. What I have done though, and this happened even recently. But I remember I watched this in hentai, but I watched Monster Musume with a friend in class with everyone around me. So I was just like, "What the hell are you watching?" It's like
public display of
anime?
Animalistic traits.
Yeah, huh? No, I just said anime. It's like, okay. And what was more recently was when I was sitting in class bored. It was lunchtime. I had nothing to do, so I popped on Overlord 2 from this season. And just as everyone gathers around me to laugh at the massive weeb watching anime in class, we get to the scene where the lizard people start having sex.
Yeah, boy, and
they're all just standing there looking like,
one.
What the? Yeah, I just they're all like, what? What the hell is this? And I'm like, I'm sitting there like, so should I make an excuse? And I'm like, nah. I'm like, can't you tell? Lizard people having sex. Like, why are you watching that? Why aren't you watching that?
That's the better question. Why aren't you popping a boner so I can make fun of you in class?
It's so funny. No, but,
now, Tori, did you pop a boner in class watching Overlord 2?
No, I don't enjoy lizard people.
Yet you're watching it in school.
Well, yeah, I'm watching it for Albedo, man. If it was Albedo, hell yeah.
You know what also has a lizard person?
A lot of stuff.
Death March.
Shut up. I don't want to talk about Death March.
Oh, come on. You're talking about the slave?
Bad stuff.
I'd be more embarrassed watching Death March in public than hentai.
Oh yeah, I'm locking myself in a closet watching Death March.
Dad walks in, you're watching Death March, you put down the computer. What are you watching? Nothing, I'm listening to Nickelback, shut up.
What's that on your screen? Nothing! I swear! No! Don't beat me! No!
No, you were watching Death March. No, I swear, I was watching Nickelback. I don't know what's worse, Tori. You tell me.
No, I was watching hardcore gay porn. No.
Oh boy. So I got a couple stories.
Oh boy.
All right.
They're much better than you guys's.
Oh.
Okay. Moving on.
You know that is not a good thing. You know that, right?
It's what?
Oh yeah,
it's not a good thing to have a good story
lot
to
of
tell to your
stories
friends?
about being lonely and watching hentai in public and getting caught.
Who says I was lonely? I got a good story with my
it's
best
better
friend.
than yours. Like that is not a good thing. You shouldn't brag about it.
I always brag about my fun stories.
Okay, sure.
All right, then. Get to the fun story then.
Okay, so never had. So this is what a teenager will do for porn. Okay,
I don't know, man.
my parents just finally got me a old Macintosh computer, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, it was a Gateway computer.
Ooh.
While my dad and my mom had the computer with the internet. So, best friend and I were bored on I think this was 7th or 8th grade, and it was in the summer. Probably 8th grade. We did everything that summer.
You were both hot and bothered. Got it.
Tori, if we weren't hot and bothered in Texas, we would be cold-blooded snakes. So, we had both watched La Blue Girl previously, and we're like, man, we kind of want to watch more porn. Right?
The realization
What
of
13, 14-year-old
yeah.
kid doesn't want to watch more porn? Gotta see them titties, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we sneak down. This is like 2:30 in the morning, like a Thursday night, and sneak down to the computer with the internet. Like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put on Napster or Kazaa, whatever one we secretly downloaded on the computer to download, be it anime or music or what have you. Totally not illegally, I swear. And we just typed in, be it Japanese porn or hentai, and La Blue Girl comes up a billion times. Like, fuck, we've seen that. What else we got here? We got big list of like ninja type porn or something in Japanese. So we're just clicking on a bunch, and we're like, all right, it'll take like 3 days to download. So we turn the computer off or in sleep mode and just let it download, because dial-up internet back then.
Yep.
Go back to it on Saturday night at 11 p.m. Parents are asleep. And get the floppy disks out and start. What we'd have to do is we'd have to splice the videos into sections so it would all fit on a floppy disk. So we'd have like 10 floppy disks for maybe 1 or 2 videos. Right? And it would just be always in these bunch of chunks. Then we proceeded to go up to my room, put the floppy disk in, and copy it on the computer, and then re-splice it together. And you can imagine that floppy disks don't hold a lot, so it took forever. And we finally got this ninja hentai. No, for the life of me, no way I can remember the name. But it was about this girl who is the heir to this ninja clan, and the ninja clan's special technique is when you basically the way these ninja clans fight is to have sex, and if you make the other person come first, you then control them. Follow me so far?
Yeah.
Sure.
Do you remember how the girl looked?
It was something 90s, dude. Pointy nose, headband, go-go type leggings. Go-go girl type leggings. So the hentai proceeds with them essentially doing like ninja techniques, but having sex, almost like how eagles have sex while they're in the air and they're dive bombing. Of course, the guy makes her come first, and now she's the slave. And then he wants to take over other clans. and she has sex with dudes, make them come first. So it just keeps going like that. So we have this hentai, and cut to maybe 2 months later, and there's about 5 of us now in my bedroom, and we start playing kind of a truth or dare type game, and there's a few girls there with us, and my best friend dares me to put this hentai on while everyone else is in the room, and of course Tori, whoever cracks the boner first, everyone laughs at him, points, haha, you got the boner first watching Japanese porn. Well, as the night progressed, for some reason all of us had the grand idea of someone has to jack it in front of everybody while this was going on.
All right.
Yeah. Shall I continue, or shall I just leave it there?
You can continue.
I can continue? Alright, I lost the bet. I had to do it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
And
then Joe, and then my best friend, I won't use his name. Ah, boy. Best friend then lost the second one, and then he had to do it next. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I guess.
It was... Yeah. No reaction to the story.
No
You
reaction.
guys are killing me.
Yeah.
Not even about the floppy disks and what you do for porn? No? Nothing?
Nope. Nothing.
Well, that was...
You've never gone out
I
of your
thought
way
that was a lot of
to
effort to get animated moves. Like, that's... that's a lot of effort. Like 10 flop disks?
Dude, it was dedication to see some boobs back then.
Yeah,
oh, shit.
That's the thing. Different times, you know. Back in back in the 1800s, when they were when times were tough. Just loading a simple image on Google would take you forever.
Oh yeah, like you would. We put an image on a floppy disk and go print it out in the library, and then put it in like drawers underneath a bunch of school books.
I can imagine just the excitement. It was just like, oh, lingerie model. Oh, look, it's almost there. No.
I mean, there was quite a few times that we wouldn't do the floppy disk thing, and we'd be dangerous and just load images or very small videos that would take only a few hours to download and watch it in the middle of the night. And if we heard any of our parents waking up, we'd like immediately like turn the screen off and hide behind a corner. Is she gone yet?
Man, now it's like if I go to download and I see it'll take an hour, I'm like, fuck, man, I can't be asked. An hour waiting? Nah.
No, now you can just straight stream it from, I don't know, Hentai Haven or HentaiPlay.net.
I wonder where you heard of those.
Well, I heard of the first one from you, Tori.
What?
Holy shit, Tori.
No.
Oh my god.
Never.
I don't watch hentai. I don't like that you just throw these things out there. I don't slandering my good name like that.
There was a lot of times where my parents or my best friend's parents would definitely catch us watching porn or something we rented from Blockbuster. Just we got away with renting an X-rated video or something. I remember one anime. It's called Bastard. That one sticks out. That one for some reason caused an issue. It wasn't so much a lot of the ecchi stuff in it. It was the fact that it was like waterfalls of blood coming down. Porn was okay, but the violence was too far.
That's weird. I thought the US was very different in that. I thought they were okay with violence, but any sort of skin showing was like, nah. Absolutely not.
Yeah, my parents and his parents were very progressive, I guess, in that. It was always anything too violent they wouldn't allow. That's how, like, when I moved to Germany, that's how a lot of those families feel. So maybe it has something to do with our upbringing, or my parents' upbringing.
Maybe.
Yeah. Because I remember I could buy porn in Germany, but I couldn't buy, like, Killzone 2 or something. I remember that vividly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Because Killzone 2 was too violent, but I could definitely buy some porn.
I see.
Yeah. So, Hickey, what hentai do you find yourself enjoying more? Is it like monsters or gangbangs or blackmail? What do you got?
I don't think it's alright to
Huh?
talk about it. You know. I guess. I mean, I like monster girls. Especially there's one called Layers of White. It is fun. It is not the type of one that you go to wank it off if you like to wank it off to drawings, but it's more about reading the story. The story is actually pretty interesting. Of course, it's a doujinshi. I guess most of the ones I read, I don't like I said, I don't watch a lot of hentai. I read more doujinshi. It is either anthologies, and if you don't know what a anthology is, it's a collection of a lot of artists' works. So we have different artists' stories in a single book, which is very cool. So we have diversity. Usually, I don't know. I guess Mindbreak. Mindbreak is a good one. Mindbreak, Ahegao.
I'm sure.
A little bit of bondage and SM, because Japanese people are good at bondage. Also, they're very good drawing it. So just stand there looking at it and say, "Huh, interesting."
I've noticed.
Yeah. some doujinshi even teach you how to do that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Dude, I'd be if I had a bondage fetish, I'd be the worst because I can't tie a knot worth the life of me.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta learn, man.
Man, I've tried tying knots. I've been on a boat trying to, learning how to tie certain types of knots for sails, and man, I am just rubbish at it. I can't do it. It'll take so much more practice than what I've had.
You haven't tried hard enough.
Waiting for the moment where I meet a girl and she's like, tie me up, and I go, oh yeah, I'll do this. Oh, she's out.
Yeah.
Can you move? Yeah.
Can you move? Yeah, I kind of, yeah.
You just go online.
All right, I'll get the handcuffs.
Just go online. It is called Shibari. Just saying, just throwing the name out there. If you want to learn about the art of tying people up, the Japanese really like Shibari. You need some wax, some rope, yeah, and you do the trick. You do the trick. Good talk.
Candle wax I never really understood. Being burned on the chest or back?
No, you use the wax on the rope, to.
Well, pain is one. Whipping and whatnot. That I can sort of at least understand. The actually being burned. No.
Yeah.
Well, boy, come on, the wax burned from a candle doesn't hurt that much. If you ever hold a candle in your hand, you know that.
Are you speaking from experience?
Of course, I'm not speaking out of experience. I don't want wax being thrown in my dick. That sounds very painful. But aside from that, I guess
You don't want a wax dick?
No, I don't want you. I actually.
As someone who has been burned a lot by wax, and no, not in that way. I gotta say, I disagree. I do think it hurts.
Oh, really? I don't think it hurts.
Well, of course,
At least
being
in the hands
hurts.
Yeah, we had to. When I was doing the confirmation thing with church, we had to stand in the hall there, with holding a wax candle, and it was just dripping on my hand the entire time. We were in there for 2 hours. It was like, God, I want to go home.
And then you realized you have a fetish for getting your hand poured with hot
burned.
Well, I was about to say I've got my hand burned enough times. I've gotten to the point now that I don't want it anymore. I would prefer to not get burned.
No
I would rather
no with
get
you,
whipped.
Tori.
Yes, I would rather get whipped, stabbed. I don't know.
Stab.
Getting
Yep.
stabbed? I didn't know you had that in you.
So between
What a weird fetish, Tori.
okay. Between a wax candle, dripping hot wax on you, and pegging, which one you choose? Ooh.
Pegging?
Yeah, pegging. You know what pegging is?
Begging to have hot wax stripped on you?
Not begging, pegging.
Pegging. Yes.
Oh, pegging.
Yes.
Pegging,
Okay.
yeah. Mm.
That's dick in the butt, right?
Yeah, a woman with a
Doesn't have to be-
fake dick pounding you in the butt. Yes.
I mean,
Ah, okay. Okay.
I've heard that it feels really good.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay.
You've heard, Tori?
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
You've
okay.
heard it feels good?
Well,
yes,
I mean,
I've heard it feels good.
Tori's a masochist, so like I guess
Yeah, but I mean, like,
both of them is a win-win for Tori. But
listen.
still, like
Listen.
I wasn't expecting this plot twist.
listen, okay? This is how it goes, right? It's not as weird as people want you to believe. Getting something stuck in your ass is uncomfortable,
Well, I guess.
but it doesn't hurt that bad. But it is uncomfortable.
I guess.
And what people always like to look down on that and say, "Oh, that's gay." No, it's not gay. It's a girl. It's weird. It's not gay.
Oh yeah. Okay. Do you guys
Who are
wanna?
you trying to convince, Tori? Me or you?
A little bit of both. I'm trying to justify my selection here. Okay, shut up.
We have
All
like
right.
we have this hentai fetishes.
You know, I expected this in Dirty Story Time. You you discovering how these things felt.
Well, I mean, have you ever gone to the doctor?
I have gone to the doctor, but nothing's been up there
yeah,
yet.
I-
I'll
Have you ha-
be
okay, so
experiencing
you-
that in 10 years.
So you have never had a colonoscopy then?
No,
I will
no.
in 10 years probably.
Yeah. You're not gonna look forward to that because that hurts. That actually hurts.
Well, yeah, it's a fucking tube up your butt, and
Well,
you know, it's a doctor that you've never met before. Well, maybe you have, but
It's
he-
it's
you
not
know,
a
he's trying to have casual conversation. Man, he gotta butter me up first.
no. It's not a tube up your ass. That's not the problem. It's the fact that it doesn't stop there.
Well, yeah, you start tasting metal. and
Oh,
it comes
all
out
the
other
way
end.
through. Yeah,
Yeah.
all the way
Oh!
through is a good one as well.
All the way through is so funny though.
You guys want to make a would-you rather?
I mean,
would you rather
I
game?
plan on fucking with him. Be like, hey, my hips are moving on their own. What are you doing there back there?
Hecky, how about a little unbirth?
Wow, on birth, yeah.
A little
I
bit of born,
fucking-
a little bit of unbirth.
I
Hell
fucking,
yeah.
I fucking is. Well, it depends on the kind of eye fucking. If there's not a eye in the socket, like there's not an eye in the eye socket, it's less weird. But like when the person kind of squishes out the eye of the girl or man with the dick, it is kind of weird. Eye fucking.
One thing though, I will say, and this is especially Hickey, you can confirm this, you read a lot of doujins. The art in Guro head doujins is usually very good.
Usually, I mean, it depends. Usually when
There are
when
some
it's
shitty ones.
when it's drawn, yeah.
Yeah.
But usually, I think the heavier ones, they are digital art because like you can do more, like
well,
you can
yes,
do it quickly.
Of course.
It's like I remember this
course
one
it
about two guys cutting off a little girl head off and like fucking the holes instead of like the like.
Why does it have to be a little
I
girl,
don't know.
Hickey?
I don't know. I don't ask questions.
Well, Hickey doesn't make the dojin. He just
Yeah.
seeks him out.
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
look
that's
at it.
also bad.
Like it is kind of like there's breaking bones fetish as well.
Yep. Amputee fetish.
Ooh.
And amputee, not
Ow.
amputee, like just break.
No,
actually,
I know, but there's also amputee fetish.
There's amputee. There's nugget porn, as it's called. Ugh,
There's a lot of weird shit out there.
there's a lot of weird shit here.
Well, you know, it goes with that saying: if it exists, there's a porn of it.
Yep, rule 34.
There's vor as well. There's vor. I mean, vor is
There is
not.
war.
So, give me some of your favorite hentai fetishes, Tori.
Favorite hentai fetishes?
Don't give it to me
let's
personally. Just
see.
give me verbally.
What? Okay. When I watch hentai,
You can whisper it in my ear too if you want.
No, thank you. When I watch hentai, I usually like to go for some of the weirder shit, because it is, you don't get that. Why would I go with it? Why would I go with something like vanilla or whatnot? Like this isn't real porn. You don't.
Why
get
would you
the
go
shit in real
half-ass?
porn. Yeah, you go all in. So yeah, I have watched quite a lot of Mind
All
Break.
in the ass.
Mind Break, not in the ass. Mind Break, yeah, Mind Control, stuff like that. I do watch the occasional NTR. It's fucking hilarious to me.
And for those that don't know what NTR is,
NTR is basically cock porn. Get cheated on.
I hate
Your
it.
wife stolen away
I
from
hate
you.
it so fucking much. Oh.
No, but it's funny.
I hate
Come
it. It gives me genocide thoughts.
Genocide.
I don't like it.
thoughts.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I feel
You
like
would
going to
kill
Japan and killing.
everything.
No, I just want to go to Japan and kill the animators and director and everyone who working in the fucking NTR hentai.
That's not genocide. Genocide. Then you've been wanting to kill the entire Japanese people.
Okay,
Every one of them. Fucking
excuse
leave
me.
Japan desolate.
Mass murder. And then, well, every single person that's fucking the generated place probably watch it in NTR, so I can kill everyone. I fucking hate it.
NTR is
I hate
hilarious,
it.
and you
I
know
hate
it.
it. I hate it so fucking much.
well, we know Hickey's least favorite fetish now.
He's lying though.
I'm not lying.
He wants to get married and then have his wife
Excuse me,
cheat on him.
Mr. Nettori.
Hey, Nettori is different from Nettorari, okay? Nettori is different from Nettorari. I did not say that. When on
It is
Nettorari,
different, but it's basically the same.
Ah,
but
no.
it is, yeah, slightly
No,
different.
it's
The
not.
perspective's changed.
exactly. That is enough for me. That is enough for me. The change of perspective.
One of the things, and yeah, just general. I like Yuri, although in hentai Yuri is incredibly lacking because it's almost never Yuri. It's almost always with a guy involved, and that isn't Yuri. I'm sorry, you can't call it a Yuri hentai. Don't have the two girls kiss once, and for the rest of the thing, it's just them fucking one dude. That's not Yuri. But like,
Called a three-way.
yeah, and other than that, yeah, sure, a little bit of femdom is always fun. It's always nice seeing the whole role. Not the role reversal. I hate that. That's annoying. But the
You fucking
fun.
masochist. You want to be dominated by a woman. Okay, yeah,
hey man,
I got it.
yeah, and you want to rape them? What's the point?
What? The fuck are you
I
talking
feel like
about?
we're becoming closer as a
I
cast.
know what you're talking about.
No, of course you don't.
You should respect women. When they say no, it's no. Porn is not real
When you
life.
say no, it's no. But if they can't say anything, then it's not a no.
If they
They got that ball in their
if
mouth.
if you are
You know they
controlling
actually
their
want it,
mind,
right?
I guess it's still a no. But anyway,
No, man. She says yes.
I mean, I guess you want her to say yes, so yeah. No, yeah, just a reminder, right? Like, we see a lot of weird shit in hentai, but it's hentai. It's not real life. Don't go doing shit you see in hentai in real life. Although it happens sometimes.
You don't want to create a potion or a smartphone that'll mind control the woman into
I mean, I
having
do,
sex
but
with you.
I do.
Yeah, no, but like we see a lot,
I
especially
do, but if the police asks, no.
especially when we see like rape in hentai. It's usually like, oh, one day they start liking it. We see that a
Yeah.
lot, and that actually happens. I think it happens. I think I remember one time in Japan, a guy said that to the police. He said, "Oh no, like I thought that after a while she would start enjoying it, and it doesn't work like that."
No, it does not.
Oh,
No, that's probably my least favorite. It's my most hated, for sure, is any sort of rape in hentai.
Well, you must have a really big problem because most sex in hentai is rape.
That's
Yeah.
the problem.
Even those
At
that
least
aren't
with the- at
even
least
those
with
that
the-
aren't tagged rape, it's like they start. It's like, well, that's rape.
It's
He doesn't
always
want
like
that.
it's always shit like for example, I watched one hentai
Rape man.
where recently where this this newly married couple, the guy starts a new job, and he brings his boss home from work to have like a dinner, and then he passes out early, and then the boss just rapes the wife, and then after a while, because then it becomes like blackmail, basically. It always ends up being that as well. That's how the girl keeps going back to the dude, and then they end up liking it.
Yeah. Welcome to NTR.
Yeah.
That kind of mixes in all of the things we hate just all in one hentai. I was like, this is... Well, like, I don't crack a boner, I'm disgusted. I have to then go wash off because then I felt dirty.
Good.
JD just sat down in the shower thinking of what he watched. Like NTR for me.
Yeah, I have tears in my eyes. I'm like, I will feel better.
Yeah, NTR is boner killer for me. Like, seriously. It just don't work for me. I don't know why.
Can't have his woman stolen. Wants to steal other people's women.
Because on Netorari, I feel sorry for the guy, I identify as the guy being cooked. I was like, God damn, man, don't worry about it. I know she's a bitch. Everyone is a bitch. You should kill everyone. And that is the feeling. I don't like this.
You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong.
You should the one going there and fucking her, not those guys. And every single time, the guy... The ending is so fucking worse when he realizes what is going on. Fuck.
Okay, have you watched Triangle Blue?
No, but I watched one way worse than that. I can.
Oh no, I'm sure there are many worse than Triangle Blue.
I think one of the worst hentai I've seen is this one where this guy has a watch, and he can stop time. And then he proceeds to rape all the women he can in a school.
Is
and
it
then
stopwatchers?
What? Say again?
Is it stopwatchers?
Oh, I don't know that.
Or is that just a dojin? I'm not sure if that's just a dojin. I know that is a thing. It might just be a dojin. Never mind.
But what he does is when he's like halfway through, he'll unstop time, but it'll only unstop it for the one girl he's having sex with, and then they get that single rush of all that, all the sex that they've had prior to him stopping time.
Yeah.
Or unstopping, and then he'll stop it again, and it just keeps doing that. What makes it even worse is while this is going on, he's like talking shit to the girl.
Yeah. And
the girl's just blank faced, nothing's happening. So it's just, all you hear is this dude talking shit to the girl as he's raping her. Mm-hmm. I'm like, not only am I disgusted, I'm also bored.
Yeah. I don't know. I find those kind of like time stop things. I find them actually pretty fucking hilarious.
Hey, if it's animated, as long as it's not an NTR, I find it hilarious. Also, something that I find hilarious is that after 10 minutes, not 10 minutes, after like 5 minutes, they used every single slang for penis, vagina, and cum. Mm-hmm. So they start coming out of shit. Like,
oh yeah, the similes and metaphors that they use are absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, because they don't have any other way to describe. They already used everything in 5 minutes. So yeah, it's very funny. Talk about.
I think the phrase that always makes me laugh the most is "dick milku."
Yeah,
dick milku.
There's the. Oh, what is? Like, I'm putting my pleasure rod in like something like they come out with condensed milk, everything, every single thing they use for it is funny. This thing is funny. Again, coming all with fetishes I lie. There's bondage, there's Zahigal. What about body fluids? Man. Body fluids is, I guess.
What was the second one?
Ahigal?
What is that?
The weird face,
Fuck silly.
Yeah, fuck silly.
Oh, yeah. I like that, because then the girl actually enjoys it. Most of the time. Sometimes.
Ahigal is also very synonymous with rape anime.
So. No. Oh, of course not.
Yes.
No, sometimes.
Eventually.
Sometimes.
It happens eventually.
Sometimes I can go past the NTR, the rape, if I like the artist. There's a lot of artists I like.
I like the
For example,
Hego.
there's Asanagi. Asanagi is a fucking awesome artist. He does a shitload of rape and lolly shit. But I like his art.
Oh my god.
I like his art. I like his style, like the stories he wrote. But he's fucking disgusted. Just like Oyster. Don't look up Oyster on the internet. Don't look up Oyster. Don't look up. Don't look up. It's a bad one.
Don't keep repeating it if you don't want people to look it up.
It's a bad one. Like you have blackmailing, rape, NTR, people killing themselves. It's
I see. How do you spell this?
Oyster, Oyster. Don't look it up. Don't look it up. I'm telling you, you're not gonna be fine looking at it. Like, yeah, there's a lot of artists I like. I enjoy the story. I enjoy the art of the guy. The same way I go out to read a manga because I like the art style. I like the artist or the guy behind or the duo trio behind the manga. The same goes for the Jinshiga. Sometimes you like the art style and you go back because of the art style, because of the angles the guy used, that kind of shit.
Because you want tips.
Okay, so moving on. All right, so upon some research, these are some hentai people say to enjoy, or the fact that I watched in the last week and they were pretty good.
I see. JD sharing his personal collection.
Well, duh. Gotta have something to talk about more, right? So here's some that I came across that were the standouts. Itidaki Seiki. So this is about a ditzy. Yeah, this is about a ditzy girl. She's pretty stupid, and she's actually a half vampire, but she doesn't like the taste of blood, so she needs to get other bodily fluids into her, and she finds out she's actually half succubus as well. So it's actually, as Hickey likes saying, it's actually pretty funny. Because it starts off with she said I think she confesses to a dude and brings him into a closet because she wants to confess, or no, that's what she does. She wants to confess to the guy, and she ends up drop kicking him in the head to try and knock him out so she can get his fluids, but he doesn't get knocked out. So it's the comment, "Oh man, I usually hit him hard enough the first try." So it has that kind of comedy to it. What makes it more fun is anything the guy thinks to improve upon sex. Because she's a succubus, she ends up like unconsciously doing it. So if he's like, "Oh, I wish her tits were bigger," her tits will grow.
Uh-huh.
"I wish you would use your tongue more," she uses her tongue more. Things like that. Is this something you guys would be interested in watching?
I think I've seen it. I mean, no.
No. Yes, maybe.
Sounds fun. Like sounds fun. I don't watch hentai. But like,
shut up, Hickey. You're gonna start watching hentai.
It
You're
sounds
gonna like it. God damn it.
It sounds funny enough to give it a try. Although it doesn't sound as weird as other ones in the list I'm looking. But
oh yeah, like I tried to get a good variety here going.
Yeah, like it looks funny.
All
I
right,
think
so the next one's called Phala Pure or Phala Pure. It's actually quite popular now apparently, and so I checked it out. It's about this brother and sister in which the sister experiments sexual things on her brother, and then as more pleasure gets given, things just go way over the top, and it ends up with this crazy glory hole scene where they drill a hole in the wall between their bedrooms, and they just go way out of control in enjoyment.
Yeah, and JD is indeed confirming that he is from Texas.
Incest. Yeah.
I grew up in Texas.
Yeah, incest. It runs in the family.
Only my brother was born and raised in Texas, so.
Well, shit.
And I mean, it's incest, but the sex was way over the top. They enjoyed it.
As it tends to be.
Right?
Yeah, usually.
The next one is Hyodo Ubuki Kanpeke. This is just straight boyfriend and girlfriend that just have kinky sex with each other. Whether
Sounds
it's
vanilla
it
for
ranges
me.
from it's there's nothing truly wrong with it other than two people love each other and they want to try all this. It ranges from bondage to having sex at school to the girl wearing like a latex outfit.
Is this 90s?
Oh yeah.
Is this 90s? Because there's a lot of
No, it's
a
not.
lot of hentai from the 90s that have the latex suit, like the latex outfit.
Yeah, but this isn't 90s.
Oh, okay. Is this early 2000s?
This one's nice. I could actually say if you want a hentai to watch that's more or less tame, a lot more tame, this would be the one.
You don't watch tame hentai. It's regular porn for that.
The next one's EQ Nyokan. This one's kind of funny as well. It's I thought it was like reverse Haikyuu.
Reverse Haikyuu.
So it's a women's volleyball team, and they get a manager who's a guy, and I believe the captain of the volleyball team sets him up to accidentally walk into the women's locker room, and then they blackmail him. It's like, you're gonna have sex with a dude, or you're gonna have sex with this girl on the volleyball team. So the episodes proceed to each member of the volleyball team having sex with this one guy.
This sounds familiar. This actually sounds familiar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because doesn't make a lot of sense. The blackmail about in this one doesn't make a lot of sense.
No, because it a bra dropped on his head. And he's like, no, don't. And they recorded it happening. And he's like, no, don't tell anyone. Okay, well, you're gonna have to have sex with this. And he's like, all right.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah,
it's a blackmail. It's a blackmail. See, yeah, no, you better have sex with us, or you're gonna tell everyone. It's like, well, shit, that doesn't actually sound that bad. Why?
Oh no, you're blackmailing me. Oh
I'm gonna
God,
be reported to the police or have sex with a bunch of hot chicks. Yeah.
Oh well.
Not a hard choice.
Oh well. Yeah, that doesn't sound strange. I think I watched one episode of this one.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. That's why it's on the list.
No, I didn't say it was good.
Now the next, yeah.
Yeah.
The next one's Kyonkyu Daikazoku Simon.
Simon. Mind control.
Mind control.
This one's just straight mind control smartphone. Not much else to say. It's he has a smartphone and he's like, hey, you're gonna enjoy having sex with me. And the girl just goes, yeah, we'll enjoy having sex with you. Great. And the girl enjoys it. It's mind control though, so take that for what it is.
I have one mind control I remember watching, and I wanted to see it again because it was so fucking hilarious. Basically it's an outgrow school, and there's one guy. And the guy is fucking bullied. Like, for the love of God, he's bullied so fucking much, and he wants revenge. And he's bullied not only by the female students, which, it's everyone aside from her, for him, but also the female teachers and the headmaster. Everyone is a woman, aside from
I might have seen this one as well.
And he's walking on the corridor of school one day, and he sees the the principal saying, "Yeah, there's this music box that actually has the power of controlling people's minds, and I'm using it to control the girl's mind." So they bully the guy, so he leaves the school. So the guy goes, steals the music box and proceeds to get his revenge. This one was a funny one. Oh, I wish I remember the name. If you're listening to that and know the name, message me.
And he can give you something for your troubles.
Yeah.
He is the master of eroge.
The other one's Kyonko Hitozuma Omi Saimin. It's another mind control smartphone, but this one's about a dude in a neighborhood, and he proceeds to, like, every time one of the neighborhood watch people, but they're all like housewives essentially. They all come over to complain. It's like, you and your girlfriends are having a lot of sex, and then he pulls out a smartphone. Yeah, you want in on this? Mind control, and they're like, yeah, I want in on that, and he has sex with all these housewives.
Living the
For
life.
An older audience.
Living the life.
Living the life of having sex with all the hot neighborhood housewives.
Mm-hmm.
The last one is... It's even more bizarre than the brother and sister one. It's called Oide yo Mizukuru K-Land. It's a sex theme park where people go to a... It's almost like set up like a roller coaster theme park, but you go there just to have sex with anyone. Mm-hmm. And everyone's consent. They give everyone a certain... I believe it was a color or a number tag to say like how willing they are to do whatever each thing. So like if you have let's call it a red tag, you could be anyone and just, hey, you want to have, you're willing to, yeah, okay, let's have sex. Cool.
So
orange sex you're not into, I don't know.
It was them up. Is that the one where like they not lure one, but they get one of the girls to like try it out, and it turns out that she really fucking loves it?
Well, it's sort of, yeah. It is that one. They bring one of the girls there. She is very, apparently she was very into having sex with a lot of random dudes, but she was too embarrassed to embrace that side of herself. So they brought her to the theme park, and that was her opportunity to kind of bust out of her shell.
Yeah, I think I've seen clips from that.
Yeah, like there's I think the second episode was an idol group where their whole purpose was
yes. No, I have definitely seen clips from this. So fucking weird.
Yeah, it was pretty bizarre. Like the Ferris wheel ride was a guy and a girl will randomly get into it, and whoever you get on with, you gotta have sex.
Well, it's in the rules.
It's in the rules. You know what you're going there for.
Them's the rules and whatnot.
Yeah. Oh god. So those were some of the random ones. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about some well-known hentai now. What do you say?
Sure.
Hey.
Start with La Blue Girl.
No one.
My first one. That one. That's an old '90s one.
It's not famous. JD just wanted to talk about it.
No, it's like if you grew up in the '90s, you definitely saw La Blue Girl.
There's a live
You're
action.
An anime fan. Even if you're not an anime fan, I knew a lot of kids in school that had seen it.
Yeah.
I barely grew up in the '90s, and I haven't seen it. I don't know why. Why didn't I watch it when I was like 2 years old, huh? JD? Can't be that
2
famous
years old.
then.
Man, I watched this when I was like 13, man. By that time, it was, I think, 2001?
Why didn't I watch it when I was 4 years old, huh? I don't...
You didn't know what porn was yet, Tori. Duh.
Of course I did. Every 4-year-old knows what porn is. What are you talking about?
Yeah, this one's also a Ninja Clan one where she has a power, and her power is to I'm trying to remember. It's been a long time. She has the power to... Her sexual powers is to keep the Demon King or something in hell. Something along those lines. And then there's a random episode where there's a rival ninja and like gives her Futanari powers that she can't control her sexual urges.
Futanari's the least gay. Futanarian girl, 25% gay. You heard it here first.
Right. So what about the next one, Tori?
Oh, you want me to do Boku no Pico? Okay. I see how it is. Yeah. I mean, this is basically that hentai that's like, everyone that gets into anime, when you start talking to people online, you'll immediately realize that everyone's like, oh yeah, well, you know what you should watch? You should watch Boku no Pico. That is just a joke that never gets old, and
something even I haven't seen.
You haven't seen Boku no Pico?
I have not.
Weird. What's wrong with you? It's very good, JD. You should watch it.
Dude, it's not one of my fetishes.
Yeah.
Boku no Pico is basically it's basically a yaoi. It's about a little boy who cross-dresses and gets fucked in the ass by a grown man.
Wow. So
yeah.
Super Lovers the hentai.
Yeah. People wish Super Lovers was. But it's weird. It's got a bit of a it's people consider it a bit controversial, and I get it. I mean, we're talking about minors here, but realistically, when we're talking anime and hentai, I don't see it as that controversial, because it's not like we've never seen underage characters get fucked before. But just because it's yaoi, all of a sudden it's weird, I guess. But whatever, it's yaoi. There are 3 installations: Boku no Pico, Pico to Chico, and Pico x Chico x Boku, I think it is. Yes, I know this.
Just right off the top of your head, Tori.
Hey, I'll even go and say it. I've seen them all.
Me too. Yeah. Who haven't? I mean, seriously, everyone.
You guys are so reserved in talking about stories, but you're like, I've fucking seen Boku no Pico.
If you're gonna go in and actually check it out, why not just go all the way?
Yeah, I mean, the first one is like, what the fuck, Grandpa? The guy is a fucking pedophile. He's like, yeah, no, okay, I just met you 30 minutes ago, so sure, get my grandson and go to that car. Yeah.
Hey, Hickey, would you like some ice cream?
No, stop. No, don't remind me of that.
What is there, like a 2 girls 1 cup moment in it or something that you guys are referring to with the ice
No.
cream?
Well,
No,
I mean,
there's ice cream in it.
What does the
hold
cone
on,
go up
how
a
do
butt
I
or something?
explain that?
No.
There's a moment inside of the car that something is happening,
Hickey,
and it goes.
don't say it.
It shoots in the fucking car ceiling. You know.
Oh hell yeah!
You know, it's.
Why are you saying this, Hickey?
Must have had a lot of
make it
iron in
I'm
his diet
having
that day.
war flashbacks. I need you to tell this to the world.
No. Oh, okay. I go to the rooftop and shout it out. I watched Boku no Pico.
I'm not doing that. But it's,
Well, you just said you were going to announce
hey,
it to the world.
it's something I watch it. Like, why would I fucking go now and say no? Deny. I'm not going to a state of denying what I watched and what I did. I know what I did, and I wish I didn't.
People like to give other people shit for watching Boku no Pico, but if it wasn't for the fact that it's such a fucking well spread out joke in the anime community, you know that a lot of people have watched it, and a lot of people that like to make fun of you claim that they haven't. They just like making the joke. They watched it. They're lying.
Yeah.
I'm on Mal right now looking at just the pictures they have on my anime list of Boku no Pico, and
Makes you want to watch it, right?
no. No, it doesn't.
JD, haven't you ever wanted to explore your sexuality with other guys, other young boys?
No.
Oh well, yeah, that's Boku no Pico. It's a joke. It's a joke, and you're gonna hear that a lot.
Have any of you seen the next one, which is Bible Black?
Yes.
Yes, I have.
Everyone
Who
watched
haven't?
Bible Black. Everyone.
I need to rewatch Bible Black.
No,
you're
you
gonna
don't.
rewatch it, huh?
You
I
should
need to
watch
rewatch
Bible Black too.
I don't know why I didn't rewatch it before the podcast. What's wrong with me?
You should watch Bible Black too. Like, I don't know if we're watching it, but too. I think.
I think our next hentai cast should be over Bible Black. It qualifies.
Yeah. I mean, it is hentai, and it's about Futanari, so it's only 25% gay.
I think we found our next one to do.
It's the least gay you can get. Futanari female. And that Futanari male, I guess. Actually, did that? Yeah, it probably did.
I mean, I don't want to spoil a fucking hentai. What the fuck?
Don't spoil Bible Black.
I'm not
man.
spoiling Bible Black.
If
If you're new to anime, yeah. If you're listening to us now, you haven't watched the cast before. First of all, go back and watch the older cast. But then watch Bible Black. Because if you like anime, if you want to keep liking anime, you need to watch Bible Black to know what is going on. What's going on in the community. You need to watch Bible Black and Boku no Pico. You know, just like people say, oh, you need to watch Evangelion, you need to watch Macross, you need to watch Gundam. You also need to watch Bible Black and Boku no Pico. To say you are fucking an anime. You are a fucking anime
You're
fan.
not an anime fan.
You're not an anime fan
if
if you haven't watched Bible Black and Boku no Pico. Because they are so iconic in the fucking community. At least the Western community. You should watch them, man. I'm not gonna spoil Bible Black. But holy fuck, what the fuck happened in that shit? Anyway, moving on.
Discipline is the next one.
Oh, I like that one.
I play the game.
That one's fun. Oh, it is based on a game.
Yeah,
isn't it?
aside from the one part aside from the first part where you fucking the blonde woman and then the black the black haired girl come behind you and fuck you in the ass. Yeah, aside from that part.
Discipline will qualify for the podcast come spring season.
You really want to make another hentai cast, don't you? Like, every single thing we say,
guys,
this one is qualifying. Oh,
guys,
I'm just saying.
Guys, we're changing. We're becoming the hentai cast.
Retro hentai cast only.
There's also this one part where, like, I'm gonna talk about the fucking discipline again. There's this one part which is very weird, where the blonde chick is like sitting on a toilet naked, and then the brown haired one comes and like drink her pee. It's very weird. I'm like, huh? That is.
That's some fetish stuff.
Yeah, that is something else.
Was that your favorite part in the game, Hickey?
No,
not
really. I like the purple haired one. I don't remember that.
Is that your best girl?
Yeah, she is.
Oh man. So the next one is kind of being regarded as like the best hentai ever. And it's called Mankitsu Happening. It's a new one. It's about this dude who has bad luck in having sex with women. As in, he'll meet a girl and he'll inevitably, due to a special power of his that he doesn't understand, he just will end up having sex with them. No? Have you guys heard of this one at all?
Is that a doujinshi?
It might be a hentai based on a doujin.
Yeah, because there's a meme about this one. I don't know if I can show you the picture, I guess. And you. Yeah,
the guy works, the character works at a manga shop.
Yeah, I know, but like I think I read.
He works with two girls. Yeah, he works with two girls. One girl is like this famous idol.
Yeah, no. I read the doujinshi. I read the doujinshi. I'm pretty sure I read the doujinshi.
Yeah, it has a hentai. Mankitsu Happening is incredibly popular. I think it's the highest rated hentai on Mal.
Well, I
right
mean,
now?
Like as we talked about, I guess this is something nice instead of just talking about porn and laughing. I think it's interesting to mention that, as we said before, the technology in anime is becoming cheaper, and anime as a whole is becoming more beautiful. Hentai is also becoming watchable, in a art point of view. If you get the early 2000 ones,
yeah, I guess I could see that. Yeah,
in the early 2001, it looked like they were made in flesh. Sometimes the anatomics will go completely wrong. You won't understand what is going on. You have bubbles of weird pain going through the screen, and the model won't stay the same. They will always change. So it's very hard to see, because hentai. There's not a lot of a lot of money to make hentai. But the early, like the newer ones, they are becoming bearable. They are becoming better and better.
Since I want to say 2001, there's been just this like exponential increase in the quality and amount of hentai that's come out.
Yeah, and if
what confuses me the most about hentai in general is why we always inevitably get the screenshots and animation of the insides of the woman.
it's called
see-through?
called
The,
X-ray.
Yeah,
X-ray?
the see-through.
X-ray or see-through.
For the same reason why you get anything. It's a fetish.
It's a fetish.
But it seems to be in every single hentai, though.
Yes, because it's the same thing. It's like the censored thing. It's just a very widely accepted fetish in Japan. They like that stuff,
Yeah,
and I don't know. I like
weird.
it too. I like it too, actually. It is weird.
The inside scratch.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's good to show you what is happening. Basically, for example, you have a fetish called stomach deformation or belly deformation, where you can see. It deforms. Sometimes they put a see-through so you can see that actually the dick is so big that enter the uterus, something like that. So like sometimes they use like that. Other times just to show you how babes are made, I guess, just for anatomic reasons.
In case you didn't know.
Yeah, in case you didn't.
All right,
know.
so I'm not familiar with this next one here. It's called Onichichi. What is that? This was something you said, Tori, that needed to be on the list.
It's
I said, yeah.
It's
Oh,
iconic.
okay, you won't take it, sure.
It's about a family. The family consists about the mother and two daughters, and then the mother started dating a guy, and like the guy became part of the family. So basically, the mother is
their
always
stepdad.
away working, and then the stepfather, just fuck with the two stepdaughters. Yeah, and it is very iconic, and in recent memory is basically the same thing as Bible Black and Boku no Pico. I think the newer one would be Onichichi, because everyone will say for you to watch this one. It's not a good one.
Well, Onichichi Reborn is the second most highest rated hentai on Mao.
It's
currently.
the second season of Onichichi. Is the second most rated. People have bad taste. Holy shit.
Nah.
But yeah, as we were talking, like,
Not that bad.
the animation in hentai became bearable in the past couple of years, and there's a lot more hentais coming out. If you go if you listen to this and thinking, but I don't see them coming out. Well, that's because if you go to My Anime List, you won't see, because they hide it. They actually list it, but it's hidden. If you use a app to access My Anime List, for example, I like using Pocket Mall. It shows me the hentai that's going out in the season. So I guess we will have 10 to 20 hentais every season, new hentais every season. So yeah, that's a lot.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I think you can disable the whole like hide hentai thing though.
I can, but
I think there's a way.
I
But
guess
I think you have
like,
to do it every single time you log on to the site, which is a bit annoying.
yeah.
Well, the last one is just speeding this up here because we're approaching the 2-hour mark here. Is Euphoria and then hentai games themselves.
Euphoria.
Euphoria.
I mean, Hickey can talk about the hentai games because he is the hentai game master. He has them all. But basically, Euphoria is all those all those fetishes, bondage and whatnot, and just general S&M. That.
Guru.
That's
Just
not
a little
exciting enough. So let's take it one step further. Let's take rape to the next step. Let's take drug sex to the next step. Let's just go all out. And include the occasional bit of murder. Or what have you. Hegos are on point. People are being fucked silly, and more than silly, girls are being literally ruined. It's should I say it's enjoyable or should I say it's weird?
Did you enjoy it?
I mean, I have basically. No, I haven't seen the last few episodes
The last few
of
episodes.
Euphoria, so I haven't seen it all. But I've seen more than one episode. Yeah.
I can never last more than 5 minutes when watching these shows. Weird.
Well,
Well,
yeah, I
that's-
guess like,
I have more stamina than that.
how would you describe Euphoria? At least the game. Basically, it's a Saw, but with sex. What happens is the guy, the main guy, he's in a closed space with 6 girls, and he's the key, and the girls are the keyhole. So he needs to have sex with them in a he needs to make a specific how can I say any specific act with the girls so they can get out of the
So
room.
it's like a I dare you to do this or you die thing.
Yeah, no, for
I
example,
want to play a game.
I want to play a game where you do anal.
yeah,
No,
it's
well, then you're
basically
dead.
like there's I think one girl is spanking, like you have spanking, you
Okay.
have
Okay, yeah, some girls are into that.
One girl has to get electrocuted.
yeah, one has
I wouldn't be into
one
that.
has to like shit a pig. Like it is weird. Like it is weird. It is I would say it's all the weird fetishes plus a little bit of light gore because I think there's a little bit of blood sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
There is.
there's the blood endings, which are like this is
I'm
one
curious.
this
In the
there's this one ending where you open one girl's stomach. It is yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
I don't think
Well,
I don't
I
think
mean,
this
but I'm
one
curious,
is,
though,
is in,
Hickey.
the, is in the anime, but
Hickey, you played the game, right?
a little bit, yeah. Like there's a lot of
Okay,
endings. Like
Uh,
there's one where you get
Well-
like is it your childhood friend? Like you punch the shit out of her.
Yes.
Like you punch
Yeah,
her.
yeah.
The one you asphyxiate the girl. Yeah, there's a shitload of ways of doing shit.
But in the anime, I know there's like depending in the anime, depending on the episode you watch, there's a whole different set of or a bunch of people that are responsible for this shit happening. Is that the same in the game,
I don't
or is there just one?
I don't remember if it's a lot of people because like there are some
Come on,
like there's some
Hickey.
scenes. Seriously, one girl cuts her fucking almost like cuts her neck with a knife in the game.
Yeah.
I remember that shit. I was shocked. Like there's some shit in the game. Like if you,
I remember that shit that stands
yeah,
out.
I remember the shit that stands out. The rest, like I don't quite remember what's happening. Especially because the first time I played it, it was in Japanese. So like I understood what the people were saying, but like I can remember if there were more than one. I don't think I played the English version. I don't think I played the translation. I played in Japanese.
Well,
Oh my god!
you need to get that.
I
and
remember.
tell me.
I remember some fucked up shit though of that game.
Oh,
Like you
same.
can avoid the fucked up. You can avoid the fucked up endings. It's like don't worry about
I mean,
it.
you don't go into fucking Euphoria and to expect not fucked up. That's like then you're doing it wrong. Then you play Solo Hanabira.
And then you play Son of Harabito. Yes. But like holy fuck, man. There's some stuff in that game that is heavy. If you go on the game and if you get like 1, 2, 3 good endings, let's put it like that. I'm like, oh okay, I got a good ending, and then a girl cuts her neck with a knife, and I'm like, holy fuck, I wasn't expecting that. It's a kind of thing. Yeah. Can we move on, please?
No,
You guys want to talk
no.
about porn games?
Well, yeah, that's what you expertise in.
Yeah.
That is, yeah.
If you want a porn,
It can get you any kind of porn.
I can get you. Yeah, I
Game.
guess I can get you any kind of porn game if you want. Nowadays, adventure games.
I've actually never played a porn game before.
Adventure games. Oh come on! You never played the Sega Saturn ones?
No.
No.
Really?
Really?
Not those fucking weird stripping
The-
ones.
the
one
Mega
that's like,
Drive?
if you solve this puzzle, you'll get the naked girl.
Like you had Mega
No,
Drive.
I've never played a porn game before.
Wow.
Sure, okay. No, seriously. Have you played the Mega Drive
Sure,
ones?
okay. No, I haven't.
You have a fucking podcast on weird porn games from the 80s.
I know what you're doing in the future for the Gamescast.
Nothing but porn games.
Yeah?
Usually porn games, they are visual novels. But you have adventure games. You have then dungeon crawlers, and adventure games, like basically a look like the graphic. It's like how would I describe it? Pokemon, Final Fantasy graphic in RPG Maker, and you have like a battle sometimes, or other times you need to make an action. I was playing one. It was like Materia Girl. I posted the screenshots and shit. That was a funny one, but like there are hentai games that are actually serious and fun to play. One I know is Eiu Senki, which is a strategic battle in grid form. It's very fun, very fun. You need to conquer the world.
Like a turn-based strategy.
Yeah, turn-based strategy. You need to win in a certain moves. And you go playing and you get familiar with the girls, and they start liking you. And then you have the sex scene, but like it's not the point of the story. The point of the story is conquering the world and then fighting against the Illuminati. Because fuck it. It is fun. It is a fun
Why
game.
not?
It's a fun game. You guys,
Yeah,
you guys
I think,
wanna?
like, one of the few porn games I've watched or played is Monster Girl Quest, which is very weird.
Monster Girl Quest.
It's
Monster
just,
Girl Quest. It is a dungeon. It's not a
Monster
dungeon
Girl
crawler, but like
Quest.
you need dungeon. Monster Girl Quest is about like this hero, and he goes out in the world, and basically it is based on the Monster Musume Encyclopedia, which is a book, where the newer.
Yeah, rogedownload.com comes up.
Yes, it does. It always does.
It always does, yes. Basically, the newer Demon King is a succubus, and because of that, the monsters became woman and monster girls, like said, Monster Musume, and the way they get energy, because since the newer Demon Lord is a succubus, is by sucking up male Siemens, human male Siemens.
As one does.
So like you go out in adventures, and you basically what you want to do is not get raped. That is basically the story.
That is my daily goal.
But like you have the RPG stuff, but it's not actually like
Every day I come home from going outside, I go, you know what the positive was? Didn't get raped today.
yeah. Hey, I guess I can say that. I mean, anyway, but like, and you have certain actions. You have attack, magic, flee, block, that kind of thing. But the interesting of this game is that actually doesn't matter. What you need to do is that there's a certain sequence of moves you need to do to survive. It's not just attack, magic. No, that's not that. You have to do a specific moves every single round to win the battle. If you don't do that, you're gonna get raped. You're gonna get a game over. If you get a game over, you need to start from the last time you saved. So it is an interesting game. After a while, it just becomes very frustrating because, as you progress, the specific movements you need to do increase and get more complicated because you get more moves. And it's kind of like sometimes you get stuck and you like after you get raped 30 times, you're like, okay, I'm going to shut down this game and I'm going to try another thing. Maybe come out another time because it gets frustrating sometimes. That is actually one nice game.
It's weird, right? Because I remember playing it and I was like, okay, I didn't know anything about the game. I wonder what this could be like. So then obviously you start with a tutorial like you always do. But I kept getting raped in the tutorial because I was like, how the hell am I supposed to win here?
Right?
I kept getting raped in the tutorial.
Yeah. No, because it's like
it's not like attacking and using magic. Yeah. It's not attacking and using magic. It's about doing the specific moves. If you don't do the specific order, you're gonna lose. You're gonna get a game over. You know, when you're playing the tutorial, they don't explain that to you. So they say that one is attack, that one is magic. Good luck. And you know, you keep attacking, you keep using magic, and you keep getting a game over, which is basically you getting raped. And you get frustrated because I'm attacking. Why am I not winning? You know, it gets really frustrating sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, the same thing is about, like, there's one game called Bukake Range. And this one is basically like, yeah, I know. So basically you have, it's also about monster growls, but like.
That is a great title.
Yeah, it's about monster growls, and you know, you're there, you have a range, in this range you have a salamander growl, a RP, I think a cat growl, and a slime growl. And you know, you have the range and whatnot, and then the demo lord comes and say, I need you to, I'm here to collect taxes. Basically, what you need to do is like, you have sex with the girls, so you can have the materials to do the things, like the things to pay the taxes to the demo lord, which is a little lolly. Not going into details. So basically, after some time, it's not about the sex, it's about beating the game. You know, having sex with the girls is just one of the mechanics to get materials to make the thing to get to the demo lord, so she doesn't kill you, and you win the game. And it gets very complex because you start doing food, and you know, you start foods and goods, and then you start making fire orbs. You know, like these legendary items, so you can make the ultimate legendary item to defeat the demo lord. It gets very complicated, and you can waste hours in that game. You know, it's not straight as a visual novel, like a Kinect visual novel. You have Kinect visual novels where you just watch the story. You don't make choices. It's just a story. You just sit there and, you know, read, and then the characters have sex, and then read, and the characters have sex. It's not about that. Sex is just the mechanic of the game. Sometimes you have those kind of games. Those kind of games I think are the best. Like Soul Town Grow, but I'm Soul Grow Town. I'm not talking about this one. Do you remember this one, Tori? There was Soul Grow Town, the one about going out in the streets and, you know, kidnapping people and mind breaking them.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You remember this one? Yeah. I'm still going through that. That shit is hard. Holy fuck. That one is hard, man. I keep turning girls into
mind
potatoes.
Breaking people is hard.
Holy shit.
It's a lot of work. Takes a lot of time.
All right, guys. We've reached just over that 2-hour mark. I think it's time to move on to our hentai of the review time.
Ooh.
Yay.
Yeah. Okay. Don't just be quiet now. Keep going. This is awkward now. You did this, JD. Why?
Well, we had to watch it. I mean...
No, not that. Get into the hentai.
Oh, get into the hentai. Okay, fine. All right. So, the hentai that we are covering is Belladonna of Sadness. And it's pretty well known. It's it came out in the summer of 1973 by Mushi Production. Mm-hmm. What else did Mushi Production do, Tori? Do you have that information in front of you?
No, but I can get it real quick.
Well, we have covered an anime from Mushi Production in the past, namely Ashita no Joe.
Yeah, no one's heard about that.
No one's heard of that one, right? No.
Yep.
Okay.
They've also got such other great things, such as, you know, Tetsuo and Adam and Moomin. Everyone loves Moomin, don't they?
Of course.
I like Tetsuo and Adam.
Yeah. A lot of, you know, some Masterpiece Theater anime.
Masturbation anime.
Kimba the White Lion, and then, of course, Belladonna of Sadness. The Japanese title is Kanashimi no Belladonna.
Yep.
It's got to throw a
literally
little
means
French in there.
Belladonna of Sadness.
Why does it have to have French in there?
Belladonna. Ah, well, it takes place in France.
Okay,
Belladonna is Italian.
You're not wrong, But I was thinking more of the fact that it is based off of, the 1862 book
guys?
La Sorcière.
Guys?
Yes, you are correct.
Guys? Belladonna
Yes.
is Italian. It's not French.
French historian, Jewel. Where do you get to
Well,
Italy from?
Belle means
In Italian as well.
beautiful in French.
In
And Donna is flower.
but
Is it not?
Donna,
Yeah, it's
Donna
Italian
is
as well.
Italian.
Yes, that's
It'll
not
be
uncommon.
it would be Belle
It's not uncommon
Femme
for a romantic
if it
language
was
to have similar
the
word
French, no?
similarities.
or Belle Fille.
Nope. I mean,
No,
unless
fe-
you're
femme
gonna
is
go
female
and
in
criticize a
French. Donna
Unless-
is flower, doesn't? Well, anyways, we're getting off topic here with the linguistics. So, it's about a beautiful peasant woman named Jeanne, who is raped by a demonic overlord and
well, first
On
it's
the
just
night
the,
of her
the
wedding.
baron, the baron of the land, essentially the king. On her wedding night, on the night of her wedding, yep, nice little thing that happened, and shit starts going down over time to her. What a fun fact is that this film was a commercial failure.
Yeah, shocking.
Yes.
It doesn't
shocking.
even have
A
animation.
hentai that's a commercial failure. Who would have
Oh
thought?
my.
And it ended up contributing to Mushi Pro becoming bankrupt by the end of the year.
At least I put this out first, and I'm forever thankful. Forever thankful.
Pretty incredible how quickly that happened.
Well,
So, oh yeah. So one thing of note is since it's 1973, the majority of the film / hentai is panning screenshots, panning paintings with very little animation involved.
yes, I also think that is done on purpose.
I
don't
also
think-
think it's done
I
on
don't
purpose
think
for
it's-
more artistic.
Yeah,
things.
because this isn't simply like animation, to put it that way. Like they don't. It's not like they were there and was like, no, we don't have time to animate this. There's a stylistic choice for why they do this. It's not like, oh, we couldn't animate anything, because the movie shows later on that when it required animation, like the scene with the town melting, it can do animation. It's not like they were incapable of animating something.
Yeah, the other thing of note would definitely be the kind of higher quality music and music track and score found throughout the film.
Yep.
It was very noticeable. It was good, actually.
It's almost like they actually tried. They were hoping for this. Maybe this could save them, but then nope, not at all.
Not at all. It
Not
was.
even once.
It you know what it felt like an indie, like what you would see at an indie film festival, which is what it debuted at.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
it definitely knew what it wanted to produce. It knew what it wanted to convey. Did it do it though? Well, let's get into accounting the story and what we think could have done better. What do you think was done well? So again, to reiterate, it starts off with Jeanne and her soon-to-be husband Jean. So it's Jean and John, spelled the male and female way in French, to be married. But at the wedding, the Baron, king of the land, and he basically is like, oh, why is this beautiful woman marrying this commoner? Well, surprise, rape party for everyone on her.
well, that was because they couldn't pay taxes. They tried to pay taxes, and it was like, you owe a cow, and it's like, well, right? Did you pay the taxes? Like, we gave you our milk cow, and it's like, well, the tax is 10 milk cows. Oh God.
It's like, we're too poor. Well, did the Baron not say specifically that phrase, and then all of a sudden he brought up the tax, and then he raised it because of how beautiful she was?
I mean, that was the point, that she was very beautiful, yes.
Yeah.
But I think it's also just to set an example, just because, there's a lot of that throughout that movie of just, she is too beautiful and she catches people's attention, that we can't have that.
Bringing attention to the wrong things. because she's so beautiful, that's sinful. A lot of underlying themes and tones here for sure, and it's right out of the gate with that rape party.
Yep.
And it shows the rape party.
It shows it in a very artistic way.
It is a hentai after all. It's classified as RX.
Yeah, but it is very artistic, like how it was represented.
Yeah.
You know how. First of all, like in the beginning, we can say that like as we were talking before, there's little to no animation. So when they use animation, it is very impactful. At the beginning of the story, you only see stills, and you know it has beautiful drawings. It has different drawing techniques. So I noticed that they use different drawing techniques to compensate the lack of animation, and they use also a lot of nice colors. Then you go to the raping scene, and what you see is just her being torn in the, like, when the guy, you know, put his penis inside of her for the first time, she's shown being, like, ripped in the middle, and you see this wide, you know, pumping.
Physically ripped in half.
She was wide, and you see this red, like, she was, you know, not only bleeding because, you know, it was the first time she was having sex, but also everything was red and it was pulsing. It was like, I think we had the same reaction when we saw the scene. It was, we all the three of us said, because it was very impactful, you know. Also, after we see the old guy humping her, and then we see bats going inside of her and shit like that, like red bats going inside of her. It is very, very impactful.
She is being violated in every sense of the word.
They don't use animation, but when they use, it is very, very impactful. You know, and this first impact is...
It's very much an art house film.
This first impact is very, very strong.
Yeah, it really sets the tone for what we're gonna experience the rest of the time. So Jean then heads back home to her new husband. Hooray! And Jean says, "Let's forget about everything and just begin our lives from here on out." Well, quickly realize that he is mentally damaged from this. He's lost the love of his life. For a lot of people, that could be like no reason to live anymore. In his case, he's just kind of in this give up state, and he tries to strangle Jean. Realizing what he's doing, he is ashamed of himself, embarrassed, runs out, and this is where Jean is now even more distraught. We see a scene of her now in a simple animation of her taking her ripped clothes off, going to the bucket of water, and just washing herself off with her torn rags. And now we're introduced to Demon Penis, encouraging revenge on the Baron and teasing her sexually.
That's not good. Love it though.
And what Demon Penis is, it's what she thinks is like this phallic symbol of her imagination.
Yeah, I love the fucking dialogue though. I thought you would be bigger. Well, I can be bigger. If you want me to be, if my size is to completely depend on you.
He's it kind of hints of what's going to happen over time, because what Demon Penis represents is a number of things. It represents sexual frustration, be it that her husband won't please her anymore because whether it be the rape party has awakened a side of herself she didn't know, or it caused this side of herself.
I would say it's more about, it represents that she has now, because obviously, like medieval times, she was pure before this. She had never had sex, nothing like that. And that's a big deal, right? But now it's like she's finally discovered her own sexuality. And it's like she doesn't know how to deal with it, essentially. So it kind of takes over. Yeah,
because it shows something like tiny demon penis just going between her fingers,
rubbing up and down.
You know, up and down, up and down.
I wonder what that's about.
Yeah.
Well, masturbation.
What? No.
Oh, thank you, JD. Thanks, Dad.
Is that how you do it?
Illuminating me.
I gotta spell it out.
Yeah, I mean, and he got bigger as well as he was making the thing.
And he was
The
also
up and
very
down
useful.
motion.
He was very useful. He could also turn into a napkin and wipe tears. Like, Jesus, where's my? I want that demon penis.
Sure could. Well, famine starts to hit the village that they live in. Yet Jean has this innate ability to always seem to make money of some kind. And the first example we have of this is during this famine, she is selling cloth that she threads herself, and it sells for a very high price. So even during this time of famine, her and her husband Jean are making ends meet. They're the only ones in the village to pay taxes. And the Baron sees this and appoints male Jean as the town tax collector, kind of as a thank you. So he says. What to me this shows that Jean has the ability to always make ends meet, take care of himself. She's a smart person. Or you could take this as a conniving person. A witch, you might say, which she ends up being branded as on multiple occasions.
Well, yeah, that has to do with the whole. She's a witch. She's one who's made a pact with the devil, whatnot. You know, the demon penis.
Yeah, it definitely shows kind of a mindset of medieval times or just older times where, you know, if you've been deflowered or defiled in some way, while we were watching this, we all watched this together, which I thought was fun. I brought up The Scarlet Letter, a book I had to read in school growing up. Something simple as, committing adultery, you're ostracized in your town or village or what have you. That's what this reminded me of. She was deflowered, defiled, before she was married. Then she was married, and the town looks at her as someone beneath them or someone evil.
Yeah.
Evil has entered her.
Yeah.
So her success is then the only explanation, because everyone else is not successful. The only explanation that people have is she must be a witch. That's what this reminded me of. It reminded me a lot of The Scarlet Letter and those kind of themes.
I don't think
what it means.
I don't remember. I think that actually when she was cut, I think they threw out the witch, but they didn't start throwing out the witch right away. At first, it was just she's made a pact with the devil. That was where it all started.
It's very much that same theme though of evil has entered you, and everyone's very jealous and mad and envious. These 7 deadly sins kind of things going on. The only explanation of her being better than anyone else is she must have made a pact with the devil, because God wouldn't do that.
It is interesting also that her success doesn't last long.
Well, it never does.
It never does.
Every single time.
Well,
it usually after she talks with the penis demon, she gets success. She gets successful. But then it goes like under really quick. For example, Mayo John becomes the tax collector, but at some point, the village doesn't have money anymore, and he goes to the overlord and says, "Look, they don't have money. We just don't have money anymore." And the overlord says, "Well, you have 3 days to collect the taxes, or else I'm gonna kill you." And just to show that I'm serious, he goes and cuts off Mayo John's hand off, right hand off,
left hand,
left hand.
Left hand. Okay, left hand off. And you see that the success didn't last long.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have another scene with the penis demon where he is very big already, and this one is a fun one.
Yeah, he's bigger. It's important to note that the town was taxed even higher due to the lord and the land in that area going to war, and war costs money. Therefore, the town ran out. So Jean has had his hand cut off. Goes back to our main character, Jean. Totally not confusing, I know, right?
It's not that
With the
confusing.
two characters named the same.
Male John isn't on the screen that often, so it's not that confusing.
So male Jean is now distraught. He's pretty much convinced he's gonna die because there's no money. He goes into like a drunken rage state, depression. There's a scene of him hitting his wife, our main character. Now, as Hickey said, we're introduced to Demon Penis Part 2, where now he's bigger. Because... what reasons, Hickey?
I guess he kind of, how can I say? He feeds on the lust of Jean.
Right.
So, like, as long as she's becoming lustier and lustier, he becomes bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
That is basically the explanation I found.
Yeah, and essentially, like it says, he wants John to accept him and become his by her own free will.
Right, because he can't have someone's soul unless they fully submit to him. So Demon Penis goes, I want your body and soul. In this moment, she still has her wits about her. She goes, I'll give you my body if you save my husband and give us an idea of what we could do to save each other. She mostly cares about her husband. So he's like, all right, I'll let you keep your soul for now. I'll have the body. Another very psychedelic. It is the 70s, so there's a lot of psychedelics involved in this. A lot of vibrant colors, specific points in what they color, in that artistic way that it does it. And what ends up happening is the next day, our main character, Jean, goes to a loan shark and takes out a large loan. Usually, these people don't let that happen, but he takes one look at her and he's like, all right, here you go.
Well, wasn't she selling golden thread?
No.
Yes.
Was she? I remember the line, he took one look at her and gave into all her
He did. She
her
came
whims.
to him to sell thread, which opened his wall. She came to her to sell golden thread. He took one look at her and he opened his coin purse, essentially his coin bag.
Oh, okay. I must have missed the
Yeah.
golden thread line then.
I was watching in Japanese, so like no subtitles. Mine didn't have subtitles. I remember like she showed her boob to the guy,
Yep, she did.
and he was like, "Yeah, she's very beautiful. Like, I'm gonna give her my earnings."
Right. So
Said no man
this
in
is
history.
now the next example of Jean taking advantage of the situation and making something, essentially making gold out of shit. So she turns this large loan and becomes a loan shark of herself and basically starts running the entire village. She garners a bunch of respect from the village because she's protecting them. She has the funds to do what the town needs. She starts wearing a green cloak, so to say, and green is synonymized with the color of Satan.
Mm.
The war is continued during this time. Years and years are hinted at going by. Then the Baron and his kingdom return to the land, in which then, at this point, the queen, I don't know what the woman would be called who's married to a baron exactly, but for the sake of it, call her
Baroness.
a baroness, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, the baroness.
I think it's that.
Sees that she is not, top female anymore. She's not the most garnered after. She's not the most respected anymore. It's Jean. Heavy with jealousy, garnered with some disrespect. She's convinced that the only way this is possible is she's a witch. So she claims she's a witch and sets up a moment for Jean's humiliation. She has her court jester or whoever you call him, servant, jump out in public and cut Jean's threads, exposing her body to the masses. This immediately causes the entire town to essentially run her out. She's hunted by dogs, she's hunted by the king's men, or the baron's men, etc. And this is where we get this impactful animation scene that Hickey brought up. A good moment where she runs back home to her husband, and he, in his drunken state, either won't open the door or can't open the door to let her in for safety. So it shows her animating, being all distraught, banging on the door, and nothing's happening. The film does a very good job in these moments, where when animation is required or needed, it does it to exaggerate and make a turning point matter even more. That's what I felt.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. And, the voice acting for female John is also very good at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
You can feel she's desperate to go inside of the house. Especially the animation. Like, you don't see a lot of animation in this movie. So when you see her slamming at the door, screaming, "Please let me in," naked, because, she got her clothes ripped apart, and...
Well, she's not completely naked yet, but yes.
Yeah, no, but it is also like, it gives you a contrast, because she was so high and mighty moments ago. She was the leader of the other people. And now she's just desperate, scared, banging at a door, trying to save her life.
It is kind of funny, though, when you think about it. It's like everyone adored her. She was the savior of the town. All it takes is one person to call her a witch and cut her clothes off, and all of a sudden everyone's like, "Yep, that's a witch. Kill her. Rape her."
My, how quickly the masses turn. Yeah, even her own husband kind of just turned his head, but I think there was a lot. I think he had a lot of inner turmoil that he just couldn't accept.
Well, that's kind of the thing, right? Because technically, her husband hasn't accepted her since the rape. He's always been distant from her since that happened. So her being called a witch, he's like, yeah, it must be right. Not even that. He just doesn't want anything to do with her anymore.
Right. So John is chased out of town, and it shows this interesting sequence of events where her clothes are slowly falling off her body. So, for example, there's a scene of her crawling under thorns, and the thorns themselves are animated in taking the rest of her clothes off. Then she's walking through the desert, a desert type area, a wasteland. She's losing all hope. And then she ends up inevitably at this cave, in which we get Demon Penis Part 3. And this is where we get this whole reveal that, it was actually the devil the whole time. Haha, did you know that? Did you see it coming?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's kind of impactful because, again, kind of you just see the entire sky turn and the clouds collect, and then he just appears out of nowhere and erects a giant penis from the ground. But, yeah, he basically takes the rest of John's, free will, put it that way. He already had everything. He had her body. He just didn't have her mind. But at this point, it was like, what have you got left to hold on to? You have nothing anymore. Even your husband has now abandoned you. You have nothing. So it's and he Jesus, what was it? He is kind of what Hickey pointed at. He's kind of revealing to her, and it's like, despite the fact that he gave her, quote unquote, as they would say, power to be able to save themselves from the current situation, everything always went wrong in the end. And that is again his doing, because that's how he's nurtured. He's nurtured through her sexuality, but also through her despair and other emotions that she shouldn't have. So it's like,
Yeah, nobody should feel happiness or despair or sexuality. Only the king and queen are supposed to have only nobility are supposed to have those feelings. If a commoner has like, those aren't emotions or things that commoners should have.
this goes against the will of God.
So I see this as her battling her inner demons, not so much what it is on the surface, what the show does, or what the film does. It's her battling her inner demons with, she shouldn't be feeling any of this. And it just so happens, after she accepts her inner demons, this is my interpretation, this is when the Black Plague happens. Mm-hmm. And we get a crazy animation scene of the Mask of the Red Death becoming the plague itself and melting everything in its path. A really cool scene, I must say. It was by far my favorite of the entire film.
Yeah, by far it was the best part of the movie. Yeah. At least the best scene.
Great sequence of events. My critique of a lot of these animation scenes, which we'll get to one in a second here, is they go on way too long. There's, for example, the opening scene of the Baron and his court raping John. It lasts for minutes on minutes. It's not just, a quick 10-second, 20-second thing. It's full on minutes of a repeated sequence of animation.
Yeah, but even still, I don't think that you would get that out of it. Let's say that was a 10-second rape scene. I think that would have...
I'm not saying it has to be
10
seconds.
I know, but I'm
saying
again,
it should
just
be
for sake. Let's say that was, 10 seconds, 20 seconds. It wouldn't be that scene. It's like, okay, now you know that she was raped. Yes, sure. That's fine. That's fine. You know she's raped. Rape is bad. Like, whatever, what have you. But I don't feel that's not the point. It's not like it's trying to tell you that, rape is bad. Right? Shouldn't rape people or whatever. It's like, the entire point that is to make you feel that despair that she's having. She is going through something horrible and it just does not end. And that's kind of that same feeling they want to instill into the people watching. It's like, you're sitting there, it's like, oh, make it go away, make it stop. Why is this happening to her? And it's like, it just doesn't stop. So I feel like that's kind of the point. Like, I feel shortening that down would have ruined that scene. As weird as that is to say when we're talking about rape.
Yeah, definitely. Like, especially, for example, as you said, the town melting. It is long, but it shows you that the plague affects everyone. Mm. You see,
it doesn't affect just that village, right?
Yeah, you see every single kind of building melting. From a hood, from a poor house to a palace. Everything melt. There's no one escape. I think it's interesting that it goes through all the city. You see everything melting. Also, we have
and melted bodies and people with black spots all over them.
Yeah.
Which again, it reminded me of another book I read in school, which was The Mask of the Red Death, or a poem or play or whatever it was.
It is a book. It is from Edgar Allan Poe. I like this one.
It is Edgar Allan Poe. Yeah, you're right. That was another book I read in school that this film reminded me of. I was like, holy crap! We're at 2 now. So Black Plague spreads, and Jean, the male Jean, finds our main character in the cave, and she's totally healthy. He's still alive, and he says, "Oh, they threw me out, left me for dead. I was actually still alive," and she looks at her husband. She's like, "I can save you," and he's like, "Yeah, right." Well, she gives him this extract from a flower, and it's notably a red flower, and the husband walks out totally fine, but he's portrayed as pink in the face and healthy, kind of symbolizing penicillin. That's what I took it as. Like, she healed him. That was the cure for the Black Plague, is penicillin.
Also holding the flower for all to see.
And holding the cure for all to see. Yeah, it was this that did it. So Jean, our main character, Jean, returns to the village and ultimately saves it using this flower extract. Everyone's happy and saved. Now she's the savior yet again.
Mm-hmm.
And of course,
orgy time.
The king. Well, oh yeah, orgy fest, 1465.
Everyone is just finally like embracing their emotions and their sexuality. It's like they're all influenced by her, and now there's sex fest breaking out, and that's when basically every fetish you've ever seen breaks out as well. Fucking guy on girl, girl on girl, guy on guy, guy on dog, girl on dog,
goat dog. On guy, guy on
snails
goat.
on snails, everything.
It symbolizes, it symbolizes a lot of things. This was the one I was speaking about that lasted way too long. I think we would have gotten the point of the happy orgy fest pretty quick. But yeah, it does symbolize more than that. It symbolizes like life coming back to the land. Everyone's happy, giving into their emotions, their innermost desires, because everyone thought they were dead. Of course, Mr. Baron and his wife aren't too happy about it.
Yeah, but that's when they start, using that good old excuse of, but God though. It's like nobody can have happiness. Nobody can. It's against God's will that they get to live happy, rich, fulfilling lives. That's only for royalty.
Right. Well, shockingly enough, the turning point of the Baron himself to act, because we'd seen previously the Baroness act, which got her kicked out of the village. What caused the Baron to act was, what ends up happening is this event where the Baroness's slave or servant is in love with the Baroness, and he goes to Jean, hey, I love her, I want to embrace my desire for her, but I'm a commoner, she's royalty, she's nobility, I'd never do it. Can you help me? Can you use your powers? And she's like, I don't have any powers, but I can give you this thing that if you make her drink it, she will be yours.
Aphrodisiac.
So, sexual aphrodisiac, they end up banging, and the Baron kills them both in bed. Now the Baron's like, that was the last straw.
It is also a nice sequence, a nice animation sequence for the Baroness, where she's feeling hot.
Yeah.
And...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it is very cool also, like, seeing both of them, like, the servant and the Baroness, like, with a sword going through them. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, comes a bit of a shock as well, because it's like, oh, he finally got in bed with her, and then it's just the camera's like slowly panning out, and then you just see like the sword, and it was like, oh, that didn't last long.
Yeah.
To me, the film definitely shows that if you neglect your woman's needs, she will find a way to please herself.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah. I thought it was very 70s of it to do something like that.
One thing I didn't...
Because the 70s was all about love and peace,
One thing I didn't like, though, is that I feel like there's a lot of just, like, that old saying, or, like, the old, obviously it's the 70s, but the one, like, oh, a woman's sexuality is a dangerous thing indeed. It's like, It's like, I guess.
Well, I mean, that's what caused... So the Baron gave... two choices. So he summons Jean the male Jean to find our main character Jean and summon her to the castle. And what the Baron wants to do is appoint Jean into his court, make her nobility, so basically he can take the credit where she has succeeded.
Mm-hmm.
And Jean looks at the Baron and goes, no, Well, he keeps pleading with her. Okay, I'll give you 100 more acres of land. No, I will give you the title of nobility second only to me. She still says no. Well, what the fuck do you want then? And she goes, I don't know, the world, I guess?
I want everything.
There's nothing you can give me. She basically goes, nothing you can give me. You can't give me happiness, is basically what she says. And him being pissed off is like, alright, you're a witch, fuck off then.
Burn.
Let's burn her at the stake.
Yeah.
So Jean ends up being burnt at the stake. The savior of the village. Now this is what me and Tori laughed at the most.
Well, I mean, one thing first as well. This is kind of, I feel like it's important to mention as well. As she is about to get burned, and as the smoke is caressing her body, her husband finally stands up for her and kind of runs out there immediately, only to obviously immediately get what was coming to him, and that is get stabbed by everyone.
Yeah, a little too late for our male character.
But I appreciated that. He was like, okay, I finally made up my mind. I actually do like her. I do want to stand up for this. Just like, nah, get fucked.
Yeah.
He got speared. He got speared about 12 times.
He gets a torch and throws in the direction of the bear, miss horribly, and just gets stabbed by a bunch of spears. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Poor John.
Yeah, so Jean's being burned at the stake, and upon the husband's like finally accepting of her, the village then goes, it gets into this riot mob type mood, like, you're killing our savior. The Baron goes, guards, spears pointed at the village. No, okay, yeah. We were no. Who riot? Who said riot? You said riot. It was like immediate. It was super funny. And John's burned. Credits ensue, and then we finally get, what has kind of been hinted at, more or less at the start, is this underlying. What I take as an underlying plot was it was kind of a representation of the French Revolution of Joan of Arc, Jeanne d'Arc. Mm-hmm. We even get a still frame of our main character holding the flag with her breast exposed. Of the French Revolution. The painting.
Yes.
Or the painting, yeah.
That was so confusing.
Nah.
Oh, you guys are laughing, but I was so confusing. Well, I mean, after she's burned to the stake, everyone in the village that is watching start having her face on. I was like, oh, wait a second.
That is because I feel like that has her influence on the people. Like her influence has spread across the people.
Then you see like in April of 1874, the French Revolution started. I was like, okay, I see. Mm-hmm. I understand now what is going on. Okay, I wasted 1 hour and 30 minutes to that punchline. Great.
You didn't waste anything.
I didn't waste, but like the feeling was that. It's like,
nah.
That punchline was horrible.
Nah.
The punchline was horrible. Come on.
Nah. I liked it.
Nah.
I liked
Come on.
it.
Really?
Yeah.
I actually read that French Revolution painting at the end of the credits wasn't in the original film.
That doesn't surprise me.
So.
Yeah. No, but that doesn't surprise me. First of all, I don't. I know the Japanese are lax with copyright and whatnot, but I don't know. I feel like it's. I don't know if they could. Well, I guess they could. I don't know.
I think the punchline. They should have kept the punchline out of the movie.
Nah.
If the original didn't have the punchline, you shouldn't put a fucking punchline there. For me, it downgraded the movie a little bit because of the punchline. It was very unnecessary. The parallel between the Belladonna of Sadness and the French Revolution they did at the ending wasn't necessary. And the movie was better without that.
I just.
I think I can agree that it hurt it a little bit because then it just spelled it out for you and it didn't need it.
Because you already understand what is going on. You don't need them to explain the punchline as they did.
Yeah, I don't know. I disagree. I didn't think. To me, it wasn't that much big of a problem. It's just like a nice little. Did you get it? Did you get it though?
Did you get it? Yeah.
And
So, final thoughts over Belladonna of Sadness.
apparently most people didn't get it because it wasn't financially successful.
Yeah.
For me, I actually liked this movie. I liked it a lot. It was fun. I wasn't sure what I was getting in. I wasn't quite sure what I was getting into. I knew it was. I've been warned by Senpai that Joe that it's an art house movie, essentially. So he said probably won't like it, but I did. I do like these kinds of movies every once in a while. Not always, but this one I felt wasn't while definitely being an art house movie. I didn't feel like it wasn't so, out there and fucking in symbolism and whatnot that it made no sense.
Yeah, I thought it was clear enough for us to understand what was happening.
Without being very in your face. Minus that
Right,
last
without
one.
just blatantly telling us, like the end painting, for example. I quite appreciated that about this. I agree.
I guess I think it's a hard movie to watch if you're not used to watch this shit.
Oh, for sure. So for everyone.
Like, because that we need to put a disclaimer on where it is very, very difficult to watch if you're not used to that kind of thing.
Well, not even that. It's like, there are many, like I said, when I said this isn't for everyone, you could just, like we described, you have multiple scenes and even long scenes of just straight up rape. It's like, obviously this isn't for everyone. There's a lot of people that just aren't comfortable watching that in any context. It's like...
Yeah, but I guess the rape scenes more like symbolism, and sometimes they flesh out like people being raped by dogs and stuff like that, very quickly. But I'm talking like about the guy who goes, Belladonna of Sadness, 1974. I watched 70s stuff, and then like 74 they start having digital animation and stuff like that, and they go with this expectation, thinking this is an animated movie, whereas kind of not. It has little to no animation, but when the animation kicks in, and in some moments it is highly impactful. But some people might die of boredom watching this show, and I don't blame them. I actually don't blame them.
I agree.
It is almost like watching a audiobook, because most of the show, most of the movies focus on the music, the voice acting, and not much on the visuals. The visuals are there as a representation of what's going on, using a nice color palette, a lot of white. So like it is more like a visual representation of what's going to be narrated to you, being narrated to you.
Hickey,
so
you're saying that, but
yes.
At the same time, I know for a fact that most anime fans of today would much rather see a nice still image than good animation because it fucks with the character model. So, what about that?
Well, they would like
Tori.
to see the still animations of a anime character. How many times in Belladonna of Sadness you saw a character that screamed anime design?
Not at all.
See? So like, it really depends. Okay, yeah, I want to see a still frame of an anime. Is Belladonna of Sadness an anime style?
No.
Work? No, it's not.
Still.
It's not. Sometimes, female John is drawn as this very Western-like 60 to 70s art style. You usually see in posters and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely see a lot of bleed over from the 60s into this.
Definitely. For me, like, if you need to go knowing what is going on in screen, especially with the stills and basically the rolling camera animation, where it's just a huge drawing and the only thing that moves is the character going through the areas of the drawing.
Yeah.
But if you understand that, the focus of that, what are you gonna enjoy in this? is the drawing as it is drawn, the music and the voice acting. Watch, you're gonna find it entertaining, like we did. But if you don't like that kind of thing, or you are in that state of mind that you don't like those kind of shows, like, or you don't feel like watching something like that, don't watch it, or you're gonna give it a bad score.
Well, still, I don't think this is about scoring well, because, like I said, I think there's so many people that just won't like this movie in general. Regardless of that, it could have been the most fucking amazingly animated anime-style movie ever. But because of the subject matter and whatnot, they wouldn't appreciate the movie at all. So I think, like, yes, I agree. Right. It's not a movie for everyone, but at the same time, it's like, I wouldn't write off people giving it a shot, unless, of course, like I said, you have a very, like, I'm trying to not say aversion to rape, because that, again, it sounds so wrong to say it that way, but as long as you understand, like, subject matter, and you understand why they have these, scenes in them, that it's not, for glorified rape. It's not to show, oh, look, bitch is getting fucked, right? That's not what the point is. It's like, so it's like, yes, if you have a very big aversion that, like, you're the sort of person that just, you feel sick to your stomach, like, you cannot, like, you get emotionally distraught, you can't watch, like, a horrific thing like rape in any sort of context whatsoever. Yeah, sure, stay away from this movie, because you're in for nothing but pain. But it's like, I wouldn't write it off, and especially just for the fact that, like, I already know that most people wouldn't watch this just from the fact that it's from the 70s. Most people will not even watch anything from the 90s or early 2000s. Never mind going back to the 70s. It's like, and I feel like the people that would go back...
Well, that's why we're here to talk about it for them.
And the people that would go back and watch this, I don't think they would be that against watching this. They don't go back to the 70s, so I wouldn't watch anime-style anime. It's not... anime-style anime wasn't that well-defined back in the 70s.
No. So, what's everyone's score?
I give it a 7.
To wrap this up.
Yeah, I gave it a 7 as well.
I gave it an 8. So we're all about the same there. Mm-hmm. Very surprising. I was going into it not expecting it to impress me as much as it did.
No. I was hoping for it to impress
especially
me.
For something that's mostly still screens.
Hey man, it's artsy.
Yeah, definitely.
It's artsy as fuck.
It's artsy.
Loved it.
When you get in the right state of mind after that first animation they put out with the first rape, you get in the state of mind of enjoying the show.
Yeah. It does a very good job in many sense. It does a good job in what it is, if that makes sense. As bland of a comment that was.
It's very good at what it's trying to do.
I mean, it's a dumb comment, but you'd be shocked. Like, I'm watching Valvrave, and it's doing a bad job at what it needs to be.
Yeah,
It should be such a simple approach to what you're doing, but there's so many anime out there that just fail at it.
Well, it's not as simple as that. That's all it's to do.
Well, you would think it should be, but
well, how can it be?
It's not.
How can it be? What people think is the right way, and what people think is the wrong way is very different.
Hey, I'm making a romance anime. Maybe there should be actual romance in it, for example.
Well, then it's not a romance anime.
Then it's no longer a romance anime. Exactly. Yeah. It failed at what it was trying to be.
I would say it wasn't trying to be a romance anime. You could put a tag.
Then what was it? That's the problem.
I don't know. Ask the people that created it.
We'll never know.
Ask the people that created it. See what they say. If they can come up with an answer, then yeah, sure.
Well, that was... Yeah, alright. So, that was Belladonna of Sadness. Episode 18, the hentai episode.
Yeah, it was.
Oh... It was fun.
It was.
We should do this more times.
Yeah. So if any of you guys want to hear us do this ever again, then, make sure to let us know so that we can ignore you forever.
Bible Black.
This play. No, what? No. Who? What? I don't watch hentai. I don't watch hentai. What are you talking about?
I mean, I'm thinking of downloading Discipline again.
Of course you are.
And Euphoria, but like, I don't know. I'll think about it.
All right, guys. Well, thank you, everyone. This was episode 18 of the Worldwide Weebs. And see you in the next one.
Peace.
Goodbye, everyone.